called a moonbow.
To the Rooster Teeth podcast. This week brought to you by Stamps.com, DoorDash, and Smile Direct Club. I'm Gus.
I'm Gavin.
I'm Barbara.
I'm Bernie.
And I'm Gus.
I liked your thumb.
Yeah,
I'm
thanks.
so
On your intro.
happy.
I've been liking your
so
Gambo.
happy
I'm
watching you
good.
guys get harassed on Twitter. Gavin and Gus. I was going to call you G Sorolla for some reason.
That's my Instagram name. On Twitter, I am Sorolla.
Instagram name. That is correct. Gus was taken by who on Instagram? Do you know?
Some dude in Mexico.
Oh, really? Okay. But the question that we asked during Gavin or Google, can there be a rainbow at night? What color is a rainbow at night? Mm-hmm. We've been getting inundated
Gustavo Guzman.
with information about moonbows.
Yeah.
And now every time a moonbow comes up, you're going to get sent that stuff.
Doesn't make sense as a name because it's the rain.
Right.
It's not a sunbow and a moonbow.
Right.
The best part,
rainbows.
the best part though about the moonbow is when someone tweeted at me the first time, because it was after the RTX podcast episode
Yeah.
where we talked about it. I thought the first person who was tweeting me about it was trying to go moonbow and just wrote moonbow
It's a moonball.
instead of moonball, like because that's what you guys say when you throw it. And I was like, oh, that's a cool way to say it.
I was kind of a dick to one of those people.
You were so hard.
I feel a little bad about it.
What'd you do?
Someone.
That's what made me like it. That's how I knew they were getting to you.
Someone
You
said,
should read your tweet.
Let me find it.
They were getting to Gus. He was starting.
It wasn't that they were getting. It's the it was the phrasing. That
I
got
can
to
read.
Me.
I can read the guy's tweet because he deleted his tweet.
I thought you guys
Oh, did he
deleted
really?
his whole Twitter.
Did he really?
Yeah, because
Okay.
it was like out of. It was out of order.
I don't remember. I can paraphrase this. I found my tweet. I can paraphrase his. If you can't find it.
He's still looking. If
I'm
you look
sure
in,
it's in our
there's
messages.
a screenshots you could probably look at. Your phone.
No,
has
in
a
our
folder
messages, it's
first.
already deleted by then.
Ah.
Okay, so he tweeted us the moonbow thing. He said, hey, I know this isn't quite a night rainbow, but there's this moonbow thing. So I replied, so we can put that in the not a night rainbow category along with everything else in the world. Cool.
Wow, dude, what's? And he's just telling you something that he saw on the podcast.
Deleted.
Yeah,
And then I was like, yeah, I was a little hard on that
Little
one.
harsh.
So who's out of order, Gavin? He's out of order, or Gus is out of
No,
order?
Gus.
Gus is out of order.
Because Gus is mean. We all know Gus is mean. He's been mean.
Do you want to
It's my
apologize?
shtick, though.
Do you want to apologize?
No, because that's my shtick.
Your shtick is like when it's deserved. That guy was just like, "Oh, Gus, can I give
By
you
the
this
way,
information?"
in case you didn't know, I just thought I would provide you with this information.
And then you shat in his throat.
Fuck you, bitch!
Super nice guy.
It's even Barbara. They asked the question and they were wondering about it. So I was, hey, look at them. They're wondering about this thing. Let them know. It's like, fuck you. So
Thank you, Neil Anderson. Sorry, I was a bit of an ass.
someone reminded me recently of the conversation we had many years ago when Gavin suddenly in the middle of a conversation said, how many bones are in the human skull? And then I started trying to answer the
I
question.
didn't say that. I said, how many bones are in your
I
head?
don't want to get into this. I don't want to get into this. And I tried to answer the question, and as soon as I started trying to answer the question, Gavin went on the fucking attack.
We should either rename this podcast or have a segment called Semantics, where it's just like two people arguing the same side, just slightly different.
I was not
reasons.
saying anything. I was trying to answer his question. That's
All
the
I
thing.
said was how many's in your head, and then you were talking about the skull.
Oh God, go back and listen to it. Go back. You lose your mind over the course of that podcast, and you make me lose my mind in like a 2-minute conversation. That's the way it always happens. Gavin says something, we turn to him with like indulgent. You actually had the best comment in the whole thing.
I know.
Is we
Remind
were
me
like
what it was?
5 arguments deep. We were like
always
5 arguments deep back and forth, and Gus, you just finally go, Gavin. What is the answer you want us to say so that you can make your point? Because we all realized at that point Gavin was just asking a question to start a new
say
topic
something,
because
yeah.
he wanted to make a point. That's what it was.
Where was I trying to get to?
he's
you
the
gave up on
mastermind
it.
at that. You're so good at that, asking something in order to get to another subject. Or when you try to explain it, you just confuse yourself.
Yeah, but that happens. I mean, a lot of the time it's just
We know that happens. We've seen it over the course of 11 years now.
I'm just a curious boy.
So all I'm saying is, listen, I got
I
this
admire
hat.
it.
Someone's asking me in chat where I got my hat. I get my hat, this little star hat. I get it from Big Head Hats or Lamood hats.
It reminds me of that carnival game where you get like a little BB gun and you have to shoot out the star.
That's it, man.
That's exactly what that looks like to me.
You are
Except it's a red
the
star.
closest to a cartoon character in terms of the way you dress than anyone I know.
So this is weird. This is getting to be weird at RTX, which was just last weekend, right? Last weekend? Seems like a billion years
Yeah,
ago
not
now.
yesterday, but the one before.
Right.
Yeah.
And lose all track of time around RTX.
Yeah,
It's just
same.
gone. It's like you don't even realize it's a Sunday, you know? on almost every panel I was on, somebody brought up the fact that I wear the same thing all the time. They just noticed that. It's like, I literally have been wearing the same thing for almost 2 years.
Well,
Yeah.
it finally caught up.
Is it so that when you see a clip of a podcast, you never know what year it's from?
It's the main reason why I actually do it is kind of similar, which is if I'm ever shooting something, like we had to do kind of pickups or like little stand-up things for the immersion show that we're doing for Discovery. This is what I wore under my lab coat. So they were like, hey, we got a thing. We need to re-record something really quick. The audio was bad on it. We need you to get, what were you wearing that day? It's like, I never have to answer that question. I'm literally wearing
Don't
this.
worry, I got 70 of these
I'm
shirts.
available right now to go do that.
Yeah.
But these, and then every now and then somebody will go find these shirts. I'm wearing a, it's either black or navy.
It's black.
Piquet. Well, I have navy ones. I'm saying I have like, sometimes I like really change it up, Barb, and I wear the navy one. Psycho Bunny shirt, but it's kind of with like a little polo shirt, but the emblem is small, like a little, like the traditional polo.
Yeah.
They don't make these shirts anymore. They used to sell, I found them at Nordstrom's like 3 years ago. When I was in there buying a suit for something, and which is like, I think that's the only reason I ever go to Nordstrom's is if I have to buy a suit.
Yeah, probably.
And then I just saw this thing, and I was like, oh, I'll buy that.
Why don't you just wear our merch every day?
That's what you do, and I appreciate that. I don't know why I don't do that, because then I could just wear random merch. I did wear merch on the immersion shoot. Merch on the immersion shoot when we were
That's too
on
much of a
the
stretch.
boat.
Yeah.
And I had a problem, Barbie. You can probably relate to this. Our audio guy Jake was like, we're on a boat in the wind, in the waves. So the mic's making a bunch of noise.
Yeah.
And he keeps needing to work on my mic, which is fine. But
You have the most trouble with mics too,
I do.
because of your hairy chest.
I'm rustly. But he has a much hairier chest than I do, and he doesn't have the problems.
Soft.
Do I have coarse? You're like a little, like a fur pelt.
You don't condition a tiny circle in the middle of your chest hair?
I shave so far down now when I have production days. I've gotten away from it, but I used to shave like it would look weird, frankly.
You just have a strip.
They're gonna
Yeah,
make,
it was
make like a dip, like a U.
A little bit.
like
Built-in
a
V-neck?
scoop neck shirt.
Exactly. Like I have like a
Gross.
V-neck chest hair.
Oh, it's a good
But
thing
he
Ash
was-
is already pregnant.
He was yanking on my collar for my t-shirt. And after like fourth or fifth time of this, I look like I've just got this like
Oh, because
like
it's just
triple
stretched
XL.
out.
Yeah, and I just couldn't. I was like, can you just not yank on my collar, please?
That is the most like disheveled, ugly look too.
Blech.
When someone's collar is just so stretched out and loose like that, it just makes you look just
like weird.
slumpy.
Yeah,
I think is the
slumpy.
word.
And it was like tensions were high. He wasn't part of the trip. Jake wasn't. He came from a different look. I don't know if I can say where he came from, but he came from a different place to meet us in one of the immersion shoot
So we
locations.
didn't have to deal with all the cancellations and stuff. That you
You're
guys
right.
did?
So he wasn't part of that epic journey where we landed in New Orleans and then had to take a bus to Destin, Florida. He wasn't part of that. So already spirits were a little low, but we were all like, hey, man, we got one day. We're going to shoot this stuff. It's great. But it was still like everyone was just like, you know, getting through the day kind of a thing. And we were all like really professional and really great. And I was just like, every time he yanked on my shirt a little bit more, I was like, you need to stop doing that.
Did you tell him?
Yeah, you one more time, bitch.
I think I told him the third time. So we had the third, fourth, and fifth time that he did it that we were having a discussion about.
How did you approach it?
I don't know. I first like, hey, can you just not yank on my collar? Can we go the other way, which is like underneath the shirt? And then after a while, I was just like, he'd approach me, and I was like a little girl who's shy, just like take my shirt and pull it over my head, you know? I'd just be like, here, don't fuck with my shirt anymore. I can't take it.
What was your most awkward mic moment? I guess you guys don't really have as many awkward moments because you're dudes and you have like nothing really to hide
Bathroom.
up in here.
Always bathroom,
Oh yeah,
right? I mean, when you wear a pack and you go to the bathroom, but you forgot to tell the audio person,
yeah. Or you're talking shit about someone and you still have your mic turned on.
You've been talking shit?
No,
yeah,
Not
Bars,
me.
talking shit.
me
Audio.
talking shit.
You have one of those secrets in a
Never.
Mike, do you have your secret file ready?
Mike, it's true. Mike, can you come out here by any chance? Can you
Mike,
jump on here.
Mike uses us or mics us up for Always Open.
This-
I don't
who's-
even know what kind of shit he hears before the show.
Mike's got to turn on the mic. So this is Mike Pirtle, who you may know from playing Walter in the Richie Shorts.
Walter
I'm not
the
really sure
accountant.
why that is, that we have one employee playing another employee. Walter was in our accounting department, which is, I think, who you're playing.
I think
Yes.
it's Walter the accountant, who we happen to have in our accounting department.
Right, who was in Hardcore Monopoly. I don't know why I'm pointing at you because you're not in the show. But it was in Hardcore, what is it, Hardcore Tabletop? Is that
Hardcore
what we ended up
Tabletop.
calling it?
Yeah, he was for like 2 seconds in the very
He brought out
first
the money.
episode. Yeah.
That's the smart thing. But so let me ask you a question. You're an audio guy.
Yeah.
You do field audio as well for like
A
productions
little,
and
a
stuff?
little bit.
You do a lot of, it seems like a lot of sporting events.
I do. That's my side gig because I was in radio for a long time before I came here. So
So do you you must hear stuff. The audio
Yes.
guy knows all the secrets, right?
Yes.
Yes. It's true.
It's like being a bartender. Or a hairdresser. You hear stuff and you don't repeat it.
So is there like a code?
Not really, but
It's not like a doctor, do no harm.
yeah, I try to live by that code
Dude,
so
if
that I
it's-
don't get fired.
So I don't want to throw you under the bus here, but if there was ever a movie and something went wrong and somebody got sued, you should subpoena the audio guy because the audio guy probably knows everything. Or audio person, excuse me.
Yeah.
You should subpoena them because they probably know everything that's going on. So
Yeah.
everyone you've ever worked with.
I spent a lot of time around sports coaches.
Yeah?
I know things
Oh,
about their
no.
personal life that if I'd ever said it, they would not have a job
Dish,
anymore.
do it. Tell us.
Details about their third divorce and
No,
Don't worry,
more
it's
like
just us here.
things they said about reporters and
Uh-oh.
or dirty things they said when they thought the mic wasn't on.
nice.
Unrelated to your story, I don't know if you've worked with him or not, but that new coach from UT, all the stories I read is it's an interesting bunch. Like he had a guy who was after him, a guy he used to work
Oh,
with,
yeah.
who came after him, and he was they were putting direct messages out and stuff like that. It was like a high school fight.
What was the shirt that his wife made? That cool story, hook 'em.
Cool, yeah, exactly. Great, cool story. Hook 'em.
Just so whatever. I'm
It was
over this.
If I recall correctly, and I probably don't, it was a former assistant coach from his previous job or one of his previous jobs.
He was tied in. He worked at Ohio State and I can't remember who the coach is there now that's under fire for something. And he worked there under him as an assistant, I think maybe when he was in Florida. And he said a few things about it when he was asked a question. I think he was trying to take the high road, but then the other assistant coach came out and said, "Yeah, I remember you going to the strip club with us here and there." And
Right,
whatever."
right.
And his wife was like, "Cool." Okay.
Mike, just to be clear, that what you're talking about is from public accounts,
Yes,
like
this
in
is
the
public
news.
accounts.
and
I did
stuff,
not
not
notice.
his
I haven't
personal
worked with that
information.
coach.
Yeah. So it's just nuts. But what's the etiquette? Like if I'm wearing a lavalier, which is the little clip mic or a pack that broadcasts, and I'm wireless essentially, I always tell the audio person that I'm going to the bathroom.
You can mute it usually.
Now I do that. I'll mute it.
Yeah.
And just for good measure, I unplug it from the thing.
I
too.
feel unless there's some weird kinks going on, they don't want to hear you pee or poo.
Well, plus also, I'm sure Mike's been in the bathroom while I've used the urinal before. He's probably heard me pee firsthand. He doesn't
Yeah.
need to hear me pee via law.
Yes, I have.
it's the worst.
The truth is, in this building, there's two doors between between where we are and the bathroom. As soon as you get through that second door, it cuts out the sink.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
What about when we
Big
piss in the
That's what I tell
podcast set?
everybody.
Do that on the regular.
We
basis.
only
take
do
a
that,
shit
we
in
only
the
do that
corner
on
of
the
the
off-topic
dressing
set.
All right. Well, Mike, we appreciate you being a vault of information.
My
and
pleasure.
keeping all those secrets.
Thank you.
Do you ever have that though, Barb? You say shit talking. What usually happens with me is Matt will say, "Hey, can I talk to you real quick?" And I'm like, "Sure." And then we start talking about something
business talk.
he needs to fill me in on something very high level business, and then about 30 seconds of the conversation, I'm like, and I just point at everything. I'm just like,
Yeah.
and I check it to make sure it's off. It's a weird feeling because it's like wearing a wire.
Yeah,
literally.
so we need to fire Mike.
That'd be a tough one. See, he heard it.
No, that was Eric. Eric wasn't happy about that.
What?
I had a strange encounter the other day. I always have strange encounters with people. I don't know what it is about
Maybe it's
me
'cause you're
that
weird
makes
as
this
hell.
happen. It may be that I'm weird and I'm awkward that causes this. But
You got a high slugging average, that's for sure.
I do. I just thought about it. I was wearing this shirt and I went to a coffee shop here near the
Gus
studio.
is wearing a very nerdy T-shirt that is.
Is it
It's
Uniqlo?
it's got like a little 8-bit Mario and he's like hitting a coin block and a coin's coming out.
But
Very
it looks like
fashion
it's supposed to be a
forward.
Donkey Kong level.
Kind of with the lights.
Are those horizontal stripes or are they diagonal? Is
They're
it just your body that makes them diagonal? Gus has a diagonal body. Sorry, I'm interrupting your story.
But,
I just want to clarify for audio listeners.
And there's a barista there, and the barista sees my shirt, and he's like, "Oh, cool, I like your shirt."
A barista is somebody who makes coffee.
Thank you. And so I looked down. I'm not sure which shirt I'm wearing. I see this, so it's like, "Oh, it's got Mario on
Coffee
it."
is a caffeinated beverage that.
and I'm like, "Oh yeah, yeah, thank you. Like, I like it too." It's like I said something like, "Don't you think it's really cool that how Mario is almost like Mickey Mouse now, where it's like even if you don't play games, people can identify Mario." And he's like, "Oh yeah, I play games though." And I was like,
Oh,
"Oh,
really?
okay, yeah." And I'm just making conversation. He goes, "Yeah, I play Mario all the time. I know. Like Mario goes around, he collects all those rings,
Oh no!
and he's pointing at the coin on my shirt, and I'm like,
It does look like a ring.
And I'm thinking, do I correct him because he's being very defensive about how he knows Mario
does
and plays
Mario
games,
also gotta go fast?
right? And I was like, yeah. You know, Mario collects the rings.
Those
Maybe he was
rings.
testing you.
Yeah, I was gonna say he was testing you, maybe.
I don't know. Then I felt really weird. I was like, so I just like kind of stepped to the side and waited for them to finish making my coffee. Like I didn't want to continue the conversation.
If I had witnessed the first and second response, like the very start of that conversation, I couldn't imagine how it would have gone sour. But somehow it happened with you.
I was like, I don't know.
Maybe he just forgot the word for coin.
Maybe he did stumble. He was like, he collects the and he's pointing at the rings.
It does look like a ring on that shirt. I could see how they would say
It's like
that person would say
it's
that.
from the original, well, not from Super Mario Brothers.
Nah,
It's like
nah,
a plate.
yeah.
This kind of looked like a plate. But it was
Looks like a plate.
very awkward conversation. I was like, I just had to like kind of step away to like stop it and just end the
Oh, the idea of you
conversation.
just waiting for your coffee, just like, happen again. I just can't have conversations with humans.
So we've all worked with Gus for about a decade. You guys have been just right at like 9 years,
Yeah,
right?
8 years for
8
me.
years for you? So it's 8 years for
I've known
both.
him for-
You've known forever.
Well,
known
yeah,
for
I've
half your life.
known you guys more.
Like 15.
What Gus goes into a coffee shop? What does Gus order? Let's all guess.
A latte.
Latte. Gab, what are you going for with
It'd be
Gus?
something blacker than that,
I think so too.
like his heart.
I'm gonna say
Americano. What is
you're
that?
gonna say
black?
you're gonna say an Americano because I was gonna say an Americano maybe, but I'm gonna go off. I'm gonna go off a little bit here, and I'm gonna say that Gus gets a long black just because he discovered that later in life, and now
Gus
that's his
doesn't
drink.
get along with anything.
Gus, what do you get?
Americana.
Oh, look at that! I
Did I get it
stuck with
right?
my-
Easy.
just stuck with my answer.
Yeah.
I had to switch it up because you took mine.
Now, to be fair though, I did used to get coffee with Gus all the
Oh,
time.
so
Yeah.
you cheated. What do I get?
I know what you get because it was just in that video.
Oh shit! It was. You can't
Yeah.
play.
Latte.
Something millennially.
A green matcha.
Yeah. A tie-dye frappuccino.
It had to be something that the coffee machine could make.
Very good.
What's going on in there? Well, I'm saying like we're not going to be making like a caramel macchiato with that little thing.
Coffee
on it.
machine can make that.
Well, no, this is something I got Blaine to get me from Starbucks.
Got you. I'm gonna go latte. Look at that poker face.
I usually get cold brew.
Cold brew. I even watched that video.
I
I
He
can
threw that
remember
in
that.
at the last second.
I'll
Adam.
get cold brew with a little bit of almond milk or just black coffee.
So
Is that just cold coffee? What is cold brew?
it's brewed cold.
Okay.
So they don't,
Clearing that
What
up.
are you, stupid?
so they
But
normally
how is it different to an iced coffee?
they normally
Brew it cold.
Iced coffee, they would have brewed it hot and then put it in the fridge to cool it down.
Gavin just made fun of me for saying they brew it cold. And he goes, but how is it different than a normal coffee? What, they brew it cold? He literally explained it to himself with the thing he was just making fun of.
Oh, God.
Yes, well, normally they heat up the water and push it through the grounds. This, I guess, they just use
it cold.
pressure, I'm assuming. They go smush.
It's also apparently more concentrated.
I think so. Yeah,
than
Espresso is
typical.
pressure.
They're just pushing it on you at that Starbucks. They got a little tap there, and they're pushing it on you. Do you know, by the way, this fucking sales department of this company has a cold brew tap in their office?
Yeah, they
Yeah.
do, and it gets refilled like once a week.
Fucking broadcast works harder than any other department in here.
Yeah,
Any other department.
where's y'all's cold brew
Where's your
tap?
cold brew
I don't know.
tap?
That's a great question.
That's a great question.
Let's just take theirs.
They have a beer keg in the off-topic set. Yeah, but we can't have any. You can't have any.
You're not. What do you mean you can't have it? You're allowed.
Like if you go to take something, does someone come and slap you?
It's only for off-top.
But what if we
doing
give you
inventory?
The
permission?
person who comes and slaps you is Nicholas, the man you're talking to.
Okay. Never mind.
He slaps
Sir.
himself.
So you're the rule enforcer. You're acting like you don't like the rule.
I don't like the rule, but I still have to enforce it.
Got it.
It's like being a fucking police officer.
What if we
Nicholas is really upset about this.
what if we just tell you to relax the rule?
What if the rule, but relaxed?
Off-topic override. It's good for broadcast.
The OTO.
Yeah, I think they have a cold brew tap and also I want to say rosé. They used to have a rosé tap as well
A tap for rose.
Yes, in the sales office.
in the sales office.
It's like how many
Explain that
of
to a
them? 8
caveman.
in there. What are they doing in there? It's ridiculous.
They're
Ridiculous.
drinking cold brew and rosé is what they're doing.
They're making deals and then they need something to salute to.
They either gotta get amped up or relax. It's like, can you mix the cold brew and the rosé?
Oh god, that would be so gross.
Rosé?
Here's your strategy.
Bruise?
Here's your
Haven't seen him
strategy.
in
I'm going to
ages.
give you a strategy for drinking
two
out of the
bruise?
off-topic. Okay.
Funny.
Just drink the beer, and if anybody notices it's missing, just real casually go, I think Jeff's drinking again. And that way it like totally changes the subject. Totally changes the subject. Everyone will be like, oh God, forget about the thing. We got to talk to Jeff. Is he okay? That's what I would do. That's what I would do. Works like a charm.
Let me read this thing here. This episode of the Rooster Teeth Podcast is brought to you by Stamps.com. Back in the day, sending Red vs. Blue DVDs through the mail was a big job, and one of the toughest parts of making and selling products online is the shipping. No one really wants to go to the post office. You're busy. Who's got time for all that traffic, parking, lugging your mail and packages? It's a real hassle. That's why you need Stamps.com. Stamps.com brings all of the amazing services of the U.S. Postal Service right to your computer. Stamps.com is the faster, more convenient way to get postage. You can use your computer to print official U.S. postage for any letter, any package, any class of mail, anywhere you want to send, and the mail carrier picks it up. There's no more lugging it to the post office. It's the best. There's no equipment at lease, no long-term commitments. This is a must-have for any small business. I use Stamps.com because I love how easy it is. I don't have to take time out of my day to plan a trip just to go to the post office. I can get official postage right from my own computer. With Stamps.com, you get 5 cents off every first-class stamp and up to 40% off a priority mail. Right now, our listeners can get a special offer that includes a 4-week trial plus free postage and a digital scale without any long-term commitment. You can see for yourself why over 700,000 small businesses use Stamps.com. Just go to Stamps.com, click the microphone at the top of the homepage, and type in Rooster. That's Stamps.com. Enter code Rooster. Thank you for sponsoring this episode of the Rooster Teeth Podcast. Stamps.com.
Perfect ad read.
I read a story here. First try. I nailed it. For sure. I read a story here, and the lead on the story was so unbelievable. I want you all to try to guess what part of it is. Okay?
Guess what part of it?
Right. I'm going to read it, and I'm going to leave one portion of it blank. And I want you to get what...
Oh,
guess-
we're
end
filling in the blank.
Right.
Got it.
Here it goes. Police in Oklahoma say they found an open container of Kentucky Deluxe whiskey, a rattlesnake, a gun, and a canister of blank during a traffic stop of a vehicle that had been reported stolen.
Is it a rattlesnake, bourbon,
Deluxe whiskey.
canister of blank?
I'm going to say helium.
I'll help you. It's 3 words.
Canister
words.
of-
Helium, helium, and more helium.
Helium. 3 words, isn't it? It's like monosyllabics. Let me think about this.
Spicy spray cheese.
A canister of
Old whipped cream.
AIDS-infected blood. 3 words.
Ooh.
Done.
You got a canister?
I don't know.
You pressurize your.
It's-
What, do I live in Kentucky?
So I'm gonna
Don't
read it
insult
again.
me.
Police in Oklahoma say they found an open container of
Oklahoma.
Kentucky Deluxe whiskey, a rattlesnake, a gun, and a canister of radioactive powered uranium
I was-
during a traffic stop of a vehicle that had been reported
I was
stolen.
gonna say something radioactive, like radioactive waste or something like that.
Wait, you said powdered
radioactive?
or powdered?
Powdered.
Powdered.
Radioactive powdered uranium.
What even?
Okay, here's the problem with that. Don't list those other things. Just list that. That's what they found.
Yeah, that's like.
I mean, they
saying-
also found oxygen.
Yeah, that's like saying Chernobyl went off and the vending machine broke.
Right?
I mean, having a rattlesnake is pretty crazy.
There's a lot of weird things in there.
Chernobyl's like, hey, our nuclear reactor just blew up. Also, it might rain. Like, there's
Don't go to the beach.
this information you just don't need. You just don't need it.
It's like, that's the weirdest possible combination. This traffic stop was also at 11 a.m.
Oh my god.
What's the appropriate time to have radioactive powder in
I don't
your
know.
car?
When you have whiskey, a rattlesnake, a gun, and
No
radioactive...
earlier than 2
Was it
p.m.
Uranium?
in like a lead box or something to protect its
It
radioactivity?
just said a canister.
Because if he's just driving down the road, surely everyone's getting blasted with particles.
It says the uranium, which Gibbs said can be purchased legally in some states,
Why?
was not weapons grade. It is unclear why it was in the vehicle or how it was obtained.
I don't think uranium on its own is, I mean, correct me if I'm wrong, is like ultra dangerous. I mean, if you hang around with it for a while, maybe. But they have to enrich it to even get it to the point where it can be used in nuclear reactors and then in weapons
Right.
beyond that, right?
Right.
Like, am I correct in
That's
this?
like all the sanctions, and you hear about like an Iran nuclear deal. It's like all of the machinery that it takes to weaponize and refine that uranium.
And is it like the same tier? Like if I enrich it to the point where I can power a city, can I also make a bomb out of that? Or do I got to like
I think you
another
have to go
enrichment
another
layer?
tier. Like that's why we have the nuclear reactors that we have in this country.
Yeah.
Is because they can then take the waste and then weaponize that.
Really?
Yeah.
That's
why.
efficient.
That's why we never like we talked about it years ago. That's why we never used thorium reactors or something else. It's because we can use the radioactive waste from our nuclear reactors to make warheads.
That's why.
Yeah.
Really? And don't we use how do we have so much spent uranium that we can make bullets out of it?
I don't. I think that's like a different.
Is it?
Yeah, I don't know anything about that.
Anybody in the military here? Anybody know military technology? Know about spent uranium?
Hello, FBI. Are you listening? Is this thing on?
So they found this
Department of
guy in
Homeland Security.
Oklahoma. You know how people after this podcast or during this podcast are not going to look up ways to buy radioactive powder.
It's a good way to get on a list.
I sent a
You
link
think
to Eric.
so? I hope so. I hope that's a great way to get on a list.
I found out how to buy it, and I shared it with Eric. Eric, the FBI is coming for us.
Is there anything you could Google that would automatically put you on a list, like in reality?
Well, I mean,
Like
yeah.
how to kill the president of the United
I shared
States.
a screenshot with you of something I searched earlier that may put me on a list.
Did you?
That conversation you and I had with Eric.
Oh, yeah.
Was it how to make a pizza sphere?
No, that's a different kind
Then
of
why are we
list.
talking about it even? Right, Kevin?
I'm teasing
This is all
something
we
for
should-
a
When does
future
this happen,
bit.
by the way? I want to.
Eric says he's cracked it.
I
think
wish
he's a
I
liar.
could be around Eric while he's researching and cracking it.
Do you?
I
No
feel
more
like that's-
research needed. I can just do it. But we have Comic-Con and there's so much happening. There's no time right now, baby.
Yeah.
We're all here now.
It's the most Southern California. Dude, there's
Baby.
Comic-Con and there's no time, baby. We got Comic-Con and earthquakes, man.
We're doing something at Comic-Con that Gus and Eric both pitched to me that I thought was a joke, but it was not.
Is this the thing you're going to have to do with makeup that Anna was telling me about?
No,
Dude,
that's
really cool.
That's something else that we're doing with. I think we've mentioned on a podcast
Yeah, we
before.
did.
Something with Dark Crystal.
yeah.
Me and Lindsay are getting transformed into characters from the movie. I don't know if I'm allowed to say who yet.
I just want to say,
I think
Steve.
that. Oh no, you can't. You can only say what we said in the bit that we recorded.
Okay, so well, I
can
mean,
you
we'll be
name
posting
different
on social.
characters? From,
I could name 2.
I know the Gelflings, the Skeksis. What are the old dudes called? The old dudes, like the good guys that are the. Hey, if you haven't seen Dark Crystal before,
It's on Netflix.
it's like a 40-year-old movie at this point. I hate to spoil it for you. But the thing that are like, there's light and dark, and the Skeksis are the dark, and then the Uru are the what are the good guys called? The little they look like goats. I don't know what they they look like Yoda, but like nice and teddy bearish a little bit.
Oh.
What the fuck are they? Anyway, I'm sure
Yeah.
someone's gonna be screaming. I have to say though, even though I can't name that character or that species that's in Dark Crystal, I have to say I was very nice to Anna because she was telling me the story and she called it the Black Crystal, and I was like, okay. Like I was like Gus
Mario
with
collects rings.
I was like the Mario collecting rings thing. I was like,
Or it's
I was
just
like, I know
close
what she
enough.
means. I know what she means.
Just close enough.
Yeah, if you get close enough, people know what you're talking about. You're good, right?
Did you just step away, get out of the conversation?
But that's the train of thought that then leads you to like spelling words incorrectly in texts because you know what I mean,
Yeah.
right? And it's good enough, and then suddenly it's like
I hate that.
the word "what" is now just W-U-T, you know, and
I have a dilemma.
you.
Speaking of like spelling, if there's someone who's like representing you in a professional capacity who doesn't know the difference between your and your,
Oh,
when do you like tell them? Because like when you're CC'd on emails that are again representing you in a professional way, and the person is using your in the wrong way over and over,
just tell them because are they sending it to you
To
or are they
that.
sending it to like people that you're negotiating with?
yeah, other people.
That's not good. You got to let your person know.
Yeah,
or let them go.
let them know or let them go. It's beautiful. What would you do, Gavin? You just fire someone for spelling the wrong your?
It would say a lot to me about how much they care about their good work, I would say.
I would just assume they're moving too fast.
The problem is, I think this person, for as long as I've known them, has always spelt it wrong.
True?
Like in text conversations, in
It
emails.
Yikes.
takes like a minute to learn it.
Yeah, this person's also like in their mid 30s.
Yeah, they should have that
Is
figured
this
out. by
someone
now.
at the company?
No,
And spell check's even to the point now where it'll contextually figure out if you've got the right one sometimes.
right?
And it'll change if to of
Oh God,
or of to if.
There was a word I tried to spell the other day. It was just a 2-letter word, like so or something like that. It was a really simple word, and it kept telling me, "You mean this other word?" It's like, no, this is a word.
I hate that.
Don't correct it on a word that's a word.
I'll send a text and be like, I know I didn't type that. I know it changed a actual word.
Do you
It
know
changed,
what's and fun as well is when you go back, you like rub out its thing, and then you type it again, and,
And
it
it
corrects
changes
it again. That's awesome when it does that. I
fights
love
you.
that.
that's great.
It's also when it decides it wants to capitalize a letter. You're like, no, don't capitalize that letter. It's like,
You know what
Bet
they
you I'm
could
gonna.
do? You know what they could do? They've had it in the iPhone the entire time. The dumb, stupid feature where you shake it to undo.
Yeah.
How about you shake it and it just uncorrects the autocorrect?
what if you shake it
'Cause I would do that.
backwards? I'm trying to channel Gavin here. That's a Gavin question.
Shake it up and down versus left to right.
No, just backwards. Like opposite than what you normally would.
I like how like the computers treat language differently than people too, because a lot of times when you're doing dictation, speech to text, you'll be reading and then it gets to a word that it messes up, and it usually messes up because it takes a syllable from one of the other words around it and thinks you mean that word. But then all of a sudden, all the other words don't make any sense whatsoever.
Because it's got the word breaks in the wrong place.
And it's just like, and to the iPhone's perspective, all of a sudden you're saying a coherent sentence and then you just start spouting gibberish. Whereas a person, you can contextually go, oh, I just misheard this one word, and like reconstruct everything yourself.
When are they going to add a fucking edit function to Twitter?
Hopefully never.
Dude, Kim Kardashian
like,
suggested it, and I think
that's
he's
exactly what I was gonna
listening.
say.
I think he listened to it, and maybe he'll do it.
Within, not like a edit indefinitely, but like within the first 3 minutes of posting a tweet.
I agree.
You can
Because-
delete it and repost it.
No, but
Yeah,
that's
but
what
then
you want to
everyone
do that.
fucking points it out.
Yep.
Only the people who saw it in the first 3 minutes.
Which is, for some reason, the most people who ever engage with my tweet is when I delete
Or
it.
that'll be the first few comments. While you're
Yeah.
still on Twitter, you'll see that stuff.
I just replied to myself with flubbed it.
Just so you don't get, you're not going to go back and do it, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because I usually just tweet and just put my phone down.
But what's
I spit on you.
What's like the classic equivalent of that? Like when you type a tweet and you're like, hey, 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 and then you hit tweet and you're like, oh. When you read it back to yourself, like immediately, I don't often have people point out my mistakes. I usually immediately notice it. Like
Immediately. Like, how did I not see this as I was typing it out?
Right. And then what's the classic equivalent of that though? I can't even think of something that's like that where you like are prepared to do something and then you just fuck it up in the most idiotic way. I guess it's like flubbing when you're going to insult someone and then you like
Yeah.
you just flub while you're yelling at somebody else.
Yeah.
I think of people who like throwing out the
Or
first pitch
spit.
at a baseball game, and it's like they just throw the ball like
Oh,
straight
that's a
down at
great
their
one.
feet.
That's a great one. Yeah,
it's like I'm sure those people have thrown a baseball a million times. It's like,
No, the worst thing ever, and I just mentioned it to you, is when you accidentally spit when you're saying something
All
or
the
like
time. I
making
do
a
it
joke.
constantly.
I felt so embarrassed. I was in the flex space here in the studio, and we were getting makeup done for like a merch shoot. And there was like a couple of interns there that I was talking to, and I was like making jokes with them and blah 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 blah. And I like laughed, and like literally just like
Oh.
this biggest glob of spit just like came out of my mouth. And I like you can't do anything except going. I just spat all over myself, like.
that happens to me a lot. I feel like my mouth produces too much drool.
But like, how do you handle that?
I just look at it and say, "Oh, I drooled." Remember, I told that story where it happened to me on a plane. Like, I went to talk to the flight attendant, and like a mouthful of spit just fell out on my shirt. I was like, I just spit all over myself.
I feel like all you want to do is walk away, but that'd be so weird.
Yeah.
As if you were laughing and you just gauzed all over your mouth and then you just turned around.
Because they were literally talking to me, and I went, and it was.
That was the question. Is for any of you, is farting an accidental activity, or is it always
Not anymore.
Is it always deliberate? Like
It can happen by accident sometimes.
Really?
Usually deliberate, but sometimes it'll, I
I'm
guess
always
what
worried about
catch-
doing that in the gym.
What
by
catches me
accident.
by surprise is sometimes I'll think it's going to be silent and I can get away with it, and then it's not.
Oh, that's different. I'm talking if you're just sitting there in conversation and all of a sudden you just fart, you go, "Oh, sorry, farted."
No.
Like you didn't mean to.
Burps will happen to me like that sometimes, but
Really?
I don't think farts ever will.
Really? Yeah, it's like
God.
an accidental thing. So I
Depends where you are, though, doesn't it?
how so?
Well, like, for example, in Achievement Hunter, if anyone in the room needs to fart, they'll just come over and
code
do it
to
on
you.
me.
But that's deliberate.
It's deliberate, yeah.
But I'm saying they would never like just be walking through the room and fart and go, "Oh, I could have used that one on Gavin." Because
Sometimes.
I feel like, yeah, that's probably something I heard in that office.
Eric, before we get too far away from this, the local minor league team is the Round Rock Express in Austin.
Where did we?
Yeah.
What?
What can we do to get Gus to throw out the first pitch at any game? Whatever it takes to do, I will make that happen.
We might already have an in at the Round Rock Express, so I'll see what I can make
I
happen.
just want Gus to throw out the first pitch at a baseball
Gus,
game.
would you do it?
I'm gonna throw a strike. I'm gonna bring some heat.
Would you do it? If we went through the trouble to do it, would you do it? You have to do
Absolutely.
it. I'm just going to tell you, you have to.
Absolutely.
Oh, it's going to
totally
be the
do it.
greatest. This will be the greatest day of
throw
my
baseball.
life.
It's a busy week, but I'll see what I can do.
It doesn't have to be this week. It doesn't have to be this week. I know Comic-Con, baby. I know it's coming up.
Has that taken higher priority than Pizza Sphere? I just want to know.
No, Pizza Sphere is pretty much ready. So Comic Con, yes, has a higher priority at the moment.
So it's Comic-Con, Pizza Sphere, first pitch.
Yeah,
We got to wait till the fall anyway, right?
for Pizza Sphere.
For when does minor league team play?
Baseball's
Minor
already
league
on.
teams
Baseball's
play
going right
same
now.
as-
Playing right now.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, we got to get on this.
Okay.
Yeah.
A while ago,
I thought they offset.
No.
I tweeted that the gap between Vice City and when it was set is shorter than the time between Vice City and now.
Right.
And you said you hate it when time
Yeah,
is
'cause-
visualized that way.
Yeah.
Why? Does it make you feel old?
Yeah, it does. Because like when Vice City came out, it's like, oh, when you're playing the game, you think that happened so long ago.
Yeah.
And then now it's like, it doesn't feel like Vice City was that like.
I think it was set only 17 years
I think-
prior to when it came out.
yeah,
Or
it's like
19 years or something.
something like 16 or 17, and we're
Yeah.
right at the cusp now, as well.
What's
so,
the
so now it's double the amount of time has passed since Vice City was
Yeah,
set.
so if you made Vice City now and set it the same amount of time ago,
It would be when-
after Vice City came out,
Right.
which is scary. We're getting old. It's the same with that 70s show. Like, it was like,
Barbara, are you keeping up with this?
Not one bit.
So like
Not at all.
what
the game
I heard
Vice-
you say Vice City, Vice City,
the game Vice City came out
time.
Yes.
16 years after it was supposed to be set.
Okay, came out 16 years after, so it was a retro game.
it was set, I think, in 1985.
And it came out in
2001, let's
Okay.
say. And now it's been 18 years since 2001, so more time has elapsed between then and now.
Oh, I see.
Okay.
I see.
Okay, got it.
I got you, Gavin. I know.
Same if they made
I just
that.
needed an explanation. I was
If they made
confused.
that
I'm
70s show now, it'd be like close to that 2000s
old.
show.
Yeah, the 2000s. They don't even have a name for that. Like that whole decade. My car,
The aughts.
I've got this thing where there's a station in my car that is hits from the 80s, 90s, and today. So a hit from 2001, which was almost 20 years ago at this point, is now a
Today.
today hit. It's like, what do you call
whereas
that?
like in 2001, 20 years before, that would have been 81. Like you would have just been getting out of disco at
Because
that
if you say
point.
the 2000s, we're still in the
Right.
2000s.
And it sucks because I grew up in the 2000s, kind of.
Kind of.
I'm going to
Yeah.
live with that my whole life.
I think we all grew up in the 2000s.
Not all of us.
All of us here.
Most of them.
How old
Some
are
of
you?
us.
Well, I was alive and I grew up.
I think
Are you growing up now, Gus?
Yes, I am.
You're growing up now?
I think what growing
Nice.
up, you mean like being a kid into a teenager. Kind of thing. Like you're
So wait, if
Welcome to
someone
this
said,
episode, Semantics.
we're,
Here we are.
We're playing semantics.
semantics,
was like-
some antics.
You're
like a
always
50-year-old guy-
growing up until you're dead.
But if someone said, "Oh, when I was growing up, we used to do it like this," you wouldn't think last week.
Yeah.
Come on.
Hey, before we get too far away from it, we were talking about weaponizing stuff, like weaponizing radiation.
We're gonna.
Have we talked about the little girl that weaponized her bird? Have you guys seen this?
no,
That's amazing.
She taught her bird to attack anyone that she screams at. And it was a tweet that went out. It's like, my niece
No pun
has
intended.
taught her bird to attack anyone she screams at. What's the pun?
a tweet went out.
Oh, a tweet went out. Sorry. I was like, how is niece a pun? Eric, do you have a clip of it? Yep, ready? Yeah.
Oh, fuck
Got the
yeah.
audio on it? Yeah. Okay.
Dad,
How is that?
Dad,
That's like the greatest thing ever. She's like a supervillain.
Dad.
It's totally like a low grade X-Men power.
Yeah.
Like you.
So it's like if you're listening to audio, it's this little girl. You can find the tweet. I'm sure. Just Google "little bird teaches" or "little bird." Little bird teaches girl how to attack. Little girl teaches a bird how to attack, and she just screams like at the camera, and the bird just like rushes
It
the
looks
camera.
like it's already starting to fly though before she starts screaming.
I don't know.
Yeah, it was pretty instantaneous.
They haven't done it. They haven't put up another video of her showing this ability.
That's
But-
the only video.
That's the only one they have. They have like, they did that thing where the tweet went super viral. So then they replied to themselves with the promo stuff. There was a really egregious version of that where this woman said, I said woman like in a really aggressive way. Woman. This woman was on Twitter and she was pointing out that the influencer era is over because here was an influencer and was linking to a story. Here's an influencer that has something like 2 million Twitter followers, or excuse me, Instagram followers. She had 2 million Instagram followers, and she couldn't sell 32 t-shirts. Like a clothing
Yeah.
company
Oh,
dropped
right,
her
yeah.
deal because she couldn't sell 32 shirts.
I saw more about that, and it's a little misleading because the influencer that they're talking about did like one post promoting it, and that was really it.
Mm-hmm.
And it wasn't even her wearing the merch; it was like some models or something like that, and it was very not on brand for what her typical look is.
Yeah.
And so I think like if there's an influencer like that who's actually like pushing it regularly, it's different. Whereas like she just kind of put out a post about it.
No, I
one
agree.
time, Yeah.
But a lot of people are saying like it's. I can tell you that almost every video game company I talk to, they are much more interested in streamers streaming their games than just about anything else. More so than like E3 or other video game shows. It's like if they can get a big streamer to stream their stuff, That's how things are marketed these days. But this woman who made this tweet, she's saying, here's this influencer, ha ha ha, she has 2 million Twitter followers, goddamn Instagram followers, and she can't sell 32 shirts. She goes, just shows the followers don't mean anything. Then her tweet went viral and, got a bunch of stuff. So she replied to herself, hey, just so you know, I write a blog about these kinds of issues all the time, so go visit the site. And then almost like just deliciously, ironically made this tweet, and then that thing had like likes that were 1,000th or 10,000th of the initial post. Like it was like that post had like 50 likes when I saw it. The other one had like 180,000 likes or something like that. And it's just like, how can you not be aware that you're calling this person out for this and then immediately trying to cash in on it?
Get
right?
in on it, yeah.
Yeah, it was ridiculous. I got a screenshot of that thing somewhere. I'll have to grab that. I said, but what's the point of where they block people's names out on Twitter and stuff like that?
I guess it's because they don't want people harassing them.
Yeah, I've seen some. I follow some accounts like that where they don't want their followers to go after them.
Yeah, because then they're seen as the bad guy, even though that person was harassing them in the first place. But then when you call it out and link the person who did it, people are just like, oh, you're being a bully. You have a bigger following than this person, and now these people are going to attack that person. It's like, well,
Maybe they should have kicked them out.
maybe they shouldn't be mean.
only you can be attacked, Parf.
Right.
That's fine. That's perfectly fine.
You're
Have
one
you-
person.
Have you heard the Taylor Swift new song, Calm Down?
Yes.
Or is it You Need to Calm
Dude,
Down?
Hannah Hart's in that music video.
She is in that music video.
I fucking freaked out.
Yeah, I totally misunderstood it because when I saw the clips that Hannah had put up of her being in it, is the video themed as like a pride?
Yeah.
Okay, but the song is more so about being an asshole on social media. There is a line in there, no amount of shade has ever made anyone straight or anyone less gay or something like that.
Yeah, I think it's directed at people who are very closed-minded and intolerant of other types of lifestyle.
Is that what it is?
Yeah.
I just assumed it was just the way that song starts. It's like I assumed it's like Taylor Swift talking about people. She wakes up at 7 a.m. and people are mad at her already. Early
People
in the
being
day.
outraged.
Yeah,
I
that's
think.
what it's about.
Yeah. Or
But
people like dictating how other people should live, essentially.
how cool is that? Hannah Hart's in the Taylor
I
Swift
thought it was
video.
so cool.
That's pretty cool.
And I could be completely off. I heard the song maybe twice. So if
It
anybody
might. I got the feeling it might be two different songs. Like we should look it up to be sure. But anyway, this song
look up the lyrics.
yeah, look up the lyrics for it. But it's a new Taylor Swift song. I don't know if it's
I've
part
heard
of a new Taylor Swift album.
I think it is.
I really liked 1989. I thought that was a really great album, and I listened
Was
to
that
it.
the Shake It Off one?
Yes, it was.
That's the only one I know, I think.
New York, Blank Space is on that.
Yep.
Yeah, you know that one. Yeah.
All the old Joseph Kahns.
What is that? Is he in the music video?
No, he just made a lot of those videos.
Oh, I
He's the director.
I got you.
Here, let me read this thing.
You know what goes into Blank Space, Gus?
Canister of enriched uranium.
That's exactly right. That's what Taylor Swift is writing in her Blank Space.
This episode of the Received Podcast is brought to you by DoorDash. You love to cook, but you don't feel like working in the kitchen. But of course, you have to eat. Skip the stove and get it delivered with DoorDash. DoorDash connects you to all of your favorite restaurants in one city. Ordering's easy. Just use the DoorDash app and choose what you want to eat, and your Dasher will bring it right to you. Wherever you are, not only is that burger place you love on DoorDash already, but over 310,000 other amazing restaurants are too. DoorDash connects you with door-to-door delivery in over 3,300 cities and all 50 states across the United States and Canada. What's the one dish from your favorite restaurant you can never recreate at home? What if someone brought it right to your door? Order from your local go-tos or choose from your favorite chains like Chipotle or even Wendy's. I order from restaurants in Austin. You know, parking's bad. So if there's a restaurant I know is difficult to park at, that's always my go-to. There's an Indian place I love that's down on the drag. Really difficult to park at. I'll order a DoorDash every time. So right now, our listeners get $5 off their first order of $15 or more when you download the DoorDash app. Enter promo code Rooster. That's $5 off your first order when you download the DoorDash app from the App Store. Enter promo code Rooster. Be sure to use the promo code Rooster for $5 off your first order from DoorDash. Thanks, DoorDash, for sponsoring this episode of the Rooster Teeth Podcast. So,
You need to calm down. It's the name of it.
speaking of food, I've been doing something very un-Gus-like lately.
Oh,
Eating
what is
food?
This? What is this?
Salad. I've started eating
Nice.
imitation meat or like fake meat. You ever hear this like Beyond Meat?
Sure, buddy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I started like I was like I'm gonna give this a shot. See how it is.
Good.
It's actually really good.
You're very progressive.
Am I?
Why are you doing it?
I felt like I heard a lot of people talking about it.
So you
And-
just want to try it.
right, and it's like I had the last time I tried vegetarian meat or like fake meat patties was a long time ago, and I remember it being gross. So I tried it. It's like, oh, it's come a long way.
You know, like black bean burgers
No,
and that kind of
those are
stuff.
disgusting.
Well, I
so
guess it also depends on the place, though, because it's like you could have been like, yeah, I tried meat and it was gross.
No, I mean, like purchased and then brought home.
Yeah, but like you could say that about any meat.
Yeah.
You could have just had a bad piece of meat.
Right, but I feel like when it's not meat, like when it's a black bean burger or something, like they're making it. It's not like it's a cow that lived and had a unique experience.
Sure.
I think what you're saying is that, like, if you, for example, first time you tried a burger from a burger restaurant and it was bad,
I'm saying,
then that could have been your opinion of burgers.
you need a
from
bigger
then on.
sample size than I tried it one time.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, well, I tried it and I didn't like it, but I liked it now. I've had a burger and then I also had like sausages.
How soon do you think it'll be until it's completely frowned upon to eat meat?
I don't know. It's going to happen at some
I
point.
feel like not within our lifetime.
No, I disagree. And I think it'll be the vector that we don't think.
Yeah, I think that we're starting to see a lot more meat consumption take off, and we're starting to see the impact that much livestock has on the environment.
Is
That
it
is
something
correct. I
like
think it'll be a climate thing. That's the approach.
yeah? Isn't it something like 1,800 gallons of water to make a steak or something?
Is it some? And I mean, also that doesn't even count like the methane produced. And,
Yeah, because it's like you got to grow all the shit they eat, and they got to drink, and they got to
Deforestation.
grow.
Right.
Forest cows would be great. We need to breed forest cows.
But I mean, there was a
Run,
time,
Forrest, run.
even when I was a kid, it was much more socially acceptable to smoke, and I guess that was because it wasn't banned in public places yet.
Yeah, sure.
But I feel like as soon as that happened, I hardly know anyone who smokes cigarettes.
Yep.
However, when I first moved to Austin in the late 90s, I felt like everyone smoked. It was really weird. Like everywhere you went, it was nonstop. And I felt weird not smoking. And now it's like you never see it's like the exact
Well, it's
opposite.
probably a combination of it being banned from establishments and also just more health awareness that people have, and also
Yeah.
just like the internet in general and people understanding the actual
But now
horrors of smoking.
now it's all e-cigs and dabbing.
oh god, dabbing.
Like you get like a nicotine hit from a dab. It's like, I gotta.
But if you can make something into a social stigma, that's when it sticks.
And I think that'll happen with me in like 2 decades.
I think the best example of that is litter. Like when I was a kid, litter was not a big deal. Like that people would just literally, if you're going down the highway, people would throw stuff out of their car windows.
Was it cool?
Because it was easier.
Literally.
There's a Mad Men episode
Nice.
where they have a picnic, and at the end of the picnic, he just takes the blanket and just goes woof with all the stuff, and he's got a beer can. He chucks it as far as he can, and it was like little stuff I loved about Mad Men was stuff like that, where it's like showed, the way things used to be. It's like these little casual things. Be like, holy shit, they're fighting just throwing their trash everywhere. It's like
I feel like
people used to do that.
littering is
In the 70s,
is
they had
almost
pitch in.
standalone. Like there are some crimes where it's like, nice, you really stuck it to the man on that one.
Right.
But littering, it's like, come on, dude, pick that up.
Exactly right.
What are you doing?
Right. It became a social stigma, and I really think it was the pitch in campaign in the 70s. So if you can make things a social stigma, then they go away.
You ever seen those videos
If they
of
can. Drug addiction is kind of a different
I've
thing.
seen a couple of videos like this where there's like a biker who's like biking along the streets and sees people throwing trash out their car window, and he picks it up and throws it back in their car,
Yeah.
Yeah.
like at them. I don't know if it's one guy or just like there's a bunch of videos like
Is
that.
that breaking the law to throw trash in someone's face if it's
know.
theirs?
I guess so. I mean,
You're returning their property.
So,
they could fine the person, but then charge you with assault. So
Yeah, I feel like, that's kind of cool in theory, but it's really not worth getting into trouble over to throw something
Right.
in someone's face while they're driving.
And like
I
we
think
live
it's
in
worth it.
Texas, all of us live in Texas. Not to dox anybody here, but the
How dare you?
there's that. Let me, Eric. Yeah. What's the slogan of Texas?
Is don't mess with Texas.
Right. Where does that come from?
That's a litter campaign.
That is correct.
right?
Eric-
I only found that out after I moved here.
Eric is correct. That is that's a littering campaign slogan.
Anti-littering.
Anti-littering, right? It's not pro litter. Pro litter. Let's fuck Texas up.
Just
that one didn't
mess
go
with
as far.
Texas.
The bumper stickers for that one weren't as great. Texas sucks, y'all.
oh, so like mess as in like mess.
Don't mess with Texas. That's what it was. Yeah.
That's funny.
It's
That's
mighty
clever.
reckless to mess with Texas. It was the song. The Fabulous Thunderbirds.
Yes, it
segment.
was.
See, I just thought like Texas was trying to be super tough.
Yeah,
No, it was the
it's like-
Texas
it's like
Highway
on the-
Department that made that one.
Yeah, it's like on barrels, on litter barrels. Yeah.
Yeah. And but it became this thing like that people always say about Texas, like we actually have some kind of like war slogan. That I don't know what the people think that is. That's just some kind of slogan that we have of we're better than
just
everybody
don't
else.
litter.
That is
It's
the
just don't litter.
attitude of Texas, though.
What's that?
That is the general attitude of people here. It's like, don't mess with us.
Well, it's true though. So don't fuck with us.
Was it where, like, which city tried to take the capital?
What?
They like pointed cannons at them or something?
A city pointed cannons at our capital.
Didn't someone try to take Austin, like take the capital away from Austin?
Like dig it up off the ground and
No,
like,
not
take
in a
it?
building. I mean, just being like, it's the new capital. When they tried to like take something in the Capitol building.
I think you might be mixing up
You're-
Texas and Australia.
Oh no, I think you're mixing up the come and take it cannon from the Gonzales battle for Texas independence. Hold on, independence.
Hey, easy.
Texas theft from
Guys just
Mexico
made
is another
cocaine.
way
How
to
is it
phrase
from Mexico?
that.
The people here were an independent country.
What are you on about? You're fucking wild.
What are you talking about?
This was Mexico.
No, but Texas became an independent country after they didn't go into the United States after Texas
Yeah,
independence.
after the white people stole it and made their own country. They stole it from Mexico.
But they were the residents of Texas.
Illegally.
Illegally. You gonna get into that now?
Yeah.
Immigrants. We were immigrants.
Yeah, well, they illegally settled against the law at the time.
Look, if you're not
And then
happy
Did you
with it,
steal Mexico from Spain
Listen,
and the Aztecs?
listen.
Oh, let's stop there. let's draw lines in history.
I'm just
that-
talking about the most recent one.
Yeah, let's not cross my fucking doorstep.
45% native.
45%.
45%.
Yeah, you were 100% about 400 years ago.
About 40% Spaniard.
Have you changed the subject? Have you guys watched the new season of Stranger Things?
nuh-uh.
No.
No,
I have.
Okay.
I enjoyed it.
What'd you think?
I thought it was great.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Better than season 2?
We were talking about stuff that's an indication like the Mad Men thing.
Yeah.
There's, I don't think it spoils anything. There's a point where they get M&Ms
Yeah.
and they're pouring M&Ms in each other's hands, and I go, that's wrong. Did you notice that too?
Yeah.
What'd you notice?
There's a color in there.
There's a red M&M.
Yeah, that they
and I
didn't
was
have
like,
yet.
there were no red M&Ms in the middle of the
Red dye
80s.
number 5?
Red dye number 2, I
Was it
think.
2? Okay.
What it was. But M&Ms were made out of red dye number 40
Yeah.
and red dye number 2 and maybe number
From
5.
like the early 90s, right? No.
It was actually, I looked it up because I was telling Ashley about it.
It was like 91?
No, it was in the 80s, but it was after the 80s where Stranger Things is set. So it was in 87, 88.
And
is when-
Stranger Things is 84?
Well, they were drinking New Coke. So
That's
that's, like
85.
That's 85.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
New
you know,
Coke's a big deal in it.
There'll be a time where the gap between when Stranger Things was set and when it came out is bigger.
The gap
Smaller.
between when red M&Ms came back and when they didn't. Maybe we should clarify what we're talking about. In the 70s, 2 red dyes were shown to be carcinogenic. And I think it was red dye number 2. And I don't want to disparage any of the red dyes.
I'm looking it up. Carcinogenic, red dye.
And M&Ms, because people were all afraid of red dyes all of a sudden, M&M had to take the red M&Ms out of the package, and then they put them back into the 80s after like a
says-
decade of outcry.
Red dye 3 causes cancer in animals, and then red dye 40.
Red dye 40, though, is what M&Ms are made out of, aren't they?
3 dyes. Hold on.
Do you think people still have old packets of M&Ms and they do it? They eat them as a challenge?
Well, we have them back now.
I mean, like old.
The original red dye that was used in M&Ms was not carcinogenic, but people unfairly associated it because it was a red dye. They said, "Oh, they were
says-
labeled as carcinogenic."
What was the thing that Michael was going to drink? It was like some Pepsi,
Crystal Pepsi.
Crystal Pepsi.
No, don't do that. That's
Which
disgusting.
like probably would have killed him.
30 years old at this point.
Yeah.
Yeah, just
30, 20 years.
It's gone bad. All the
99? Yeah.
Yeah.
That was mid 90s stuff, right?
That
The
would be
clear
20
stuff?
because I was born in 89 and I just turned 30.
How you doing with that?
I've never been more aware of aging until my 30th birthday.
Yeah.
Because I'm just like, wow, I'm officially in my 30s, which means I'll never be in my 20s again. Oh my god, time is moving.
It's moving fast. Goes
Yeah.
faster too.
So it's a little terrifying. But I need to change.
Red 40 contains P-cressidine, which the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services says is reasonably anticipated to be a human carcinogen.
Reasonably anticipated.
Barbara, you
At this point,
animal.
it's like, it's everything.
Again.
Why don't you just look up an article on red M&Ms?
That's my next thing.
Okay. Because that'll give you the lowdown. The one I read gave me the lowdown. We're just continuing 1976 because of confusion and concern over red dye number 2, which was banned by federal regulators as a health risk. Red M&Ms contain dyes number 3 and 40, which are considered safe.
For that you just read is from 1987. The thing I read is from 2010.
Oh, wow. So they even say now that 40 is back?
Yeah.
So they're using 40 in red M&Ms today?
Can California figure out their messaging about how everything has cancer in it and will cause you cancer?
It's literally everything,
to the
right?
point where it's not on like a lift door.
I
and
saw
stuff
it
where it's
in a
like,
parking garage. And it was like,
Yeah, it's like, does it have to be written and like embossed into everything?
Let me tell you something, Gavin. Shut up. Because you're still, until Brexit happens, you're still part of the fucking EU. And every website on the goddamn planet has had to update their privacy statements and all the cookies things that I still have to
I'm
click
still accepting cookies.
to this day.
How am I still
because
accepting
the
them?
fucking EU is
Wow,
all like,
sorry that the EU's looking out for people getting spied
sorry,
on.
California's looking out for people getting cancer.
Don't
But
worry,
we
I'll
don't have
accept
to-
all your cookies.
It's jarring. Like being like, oh, you want to accept this cookie? Isn't as bad as you'll get cancer if you touch this.
Well, you have all your data stolen, and then you'll be poor because someone will have taken your identity from you. That's the message that's
Why would
sent.
you be poor from that?
Because they steal. What are they going to steal your identity for? To go to a Halloween party? They're going to go into your bank accounts, dude.
Just say that wasn't me. Insurance.
I'm going to do that. I'm going to go into the bank and be like, that wasn't me. Insurance.
Hey, don't ever worry about being robbed. Whatever. If you get robbed, just go. It wasn't me.
Insurance.
Insurance. It wasn't me.
You get in a car crash? It wasn't me. Insurance.
But that shit works on credit cards. If someone nicks it and they spend, 10 grand on your credit card, you'd be like, I didn't do that. And they'll be like, yeah, here's the money back.
Now you're defending that. You always criticize that because we don't have chip and pin. We have chip and signature.
But that's really stupid. Stupid because
It's the same thing. My
the
counter
pin
argument's
means
always
no one can
you
use
get
my credit
insurance and you don't have to pay for it.
It
and
was stupid.
and now you're using that argument.
no. What,
This is-
if I took your card, what could I do with it? Everything.
And then I would just say, it wasn't me. Insurance.
Wasn't me.
Officer, my car was stolen. What was it? You? No, it wasn't me.
Insurance.
This is classic Gavin, though. Everything they do in his home country makes perfect sense, and it's fine. Everything they do somewhere else is awful
This is
and
not
stupid.
true. And I've told you that I think the weird mix of metric and imperial is very annoying.
That is weird.
That is weird.
And
But you get all uppity about the metric stuff, too. You think we should all be metric,
I
right?
do.
Even for like distances and weights and everything.
I think that would be better.
I think it would be better. Fahrenheit. It's really just I'm just annoyed at Fahrenheit.
But Fahrenheit's not
lived here for, like,
metric.
8 years.
It's not metric, is it?
no.
Okay, it's not. No, I'm saying Celsius is not part of the metric
I think
system.
it is.
Yes, it's base 100.
temperature?
It's
Yeah.
100 degrees.
I
between
get that it
freezing and
lines
boil.
up, but
I
is
think
it
it's
part
like-
of the metric system?
It measures the amount of energy required to
Oh, that's a
heat
good
1
point.
kilogram of water.
It's not like a kilodegree
Right.
and a
Yeah.
mega degree.
I will
kilojoules.
say, I appreciate
There are-
Fahrenheit for indoor temperature.
It's just look up his Celsius. I mean, a lot of countries obviously that have the metric system also have Celsius.
The Celsius scale is part of the metric system, but not SI.
Learn something new today. There you go. Okay, makes sense. So Celsius, that's the only thing that you're actually metric. Like if I said to this table in front of us, look at that table in front of us. It's the length of the table in front of you, the width of it. How many meters is that?
How many meters?
Yeah.
I'd say it's just over a meter long.
You think it's just over a meter long?
The width?
No, their width. They're like the length.
That
of it.
way?
Yeah.
That's more than a meter, dude.
That's what I
But
just
Gus,
said.
Oh,
how many
yeah.
feet is that?
Probably like 4.5.
Yeah.
That's the thing. It's like
But why would you measure it in feet and if it's longer than a yard?
So it's 1.5 yards.
Why not? Why wouldn't I do that? I mean, I don't need to go to yards. Who measures anything in yards? Football field. That's it.
feet.
That's it. Yards.
Foot.
Do you measure your house in square yards because it's a little bigger than
No.
square feet? When you get over square feet,
I have a rectangular yard.
how many yards long is your car? What's wrong with you? Gavin, when you say your height, do you say you're 5'10", or do you say I'm almost 2 yards? What's wrong with you?
You can't ask him that because he uses stone.
I'm gonna do that all the time and be like, I'm like a yard and a half.
Well, how many meters? Like
I'm just saying 2 yards.
1.7?
Yeah, I guess so.
Do you also use stone for your weight?
Why would you say feet?
Yeah, I use stone because it's dumb and we should use metric. I don't know kilograms.
No, but it's stone. It's like what, 14 pounds of stone, right?
Well, I mean, it's the
think
same
so.
as the units you use, but we have like a yard. But it's
But how many pounds are in a stone? How many pounds?
I think
are
it's
in a stone?
14.
Is it 14? It's not a
14 pounds in a stone.
okay. And what is that based on? Do you have any idea?
It's the stone. The queen
There
sits
was
on it at night.
there was one big stone that they found,
She's trying to hatch it.
and someone went, "Oh, I'm about 10 of these."
Anybody here ever had a kidney stone?
Oh, God, no.
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 I'm just kind of curious. Yeah,
Nope.
knock on wood, but
You
no.
don't want one.
Yeah, I don't want one. Because there's people. Kidney stones suck because the people who get them seem like they get them all the fucking time,
I
and
think
people who don't get them just don't get them.
I think it's a big result of not drinking enough water.
Yeah.
I think that's a big thing to do with it.
Do you drink enough water?
No, absolutely not.
I said, but you don't get kidney stones.
I think I drink an okay amount. It's not as much as I should
some-
be, but there's some people who don't drink like any
Or maybe some
water.
people are also just more like predisposed to it.
We also
True.
get water from
And they have to drink
everything
water
we eat.
all the time.
Yeah.
What's that? Yeah, see, that's it. I don't think I drink enough water.
I drink a shitload.
You drink
good.
water in bed, which I've gotten in the habit of doing.
Like before bed?
Like Gavin has
Just have
talked
an IV.
before about his nighttime routine, and he gets a glass of water for his nightstand and a glass of water for Meg's nightstand.
Yeah, it's not in a glass because the cat will drink it, but it's in a bottle.
The cat will drink it. Do you care if your cat drinks your water?
Yeah, that's disgusting.
I
They're
think the
filthy
cat licks
animals.
its
They
butthole.
lick each other's anuses all the time.
So you make.
I don't flecks of cat anus in my morning drink.
You would be able to tell.
Also, water goes shitty if you just leave it open.
Not after
What are
like
you, the
a
kid
night.
from Signs?
I'm just-
Also,
Does it
how
get stale?
dusty is your house if it's getting
it's
that
not
dirt?
dust. It's not like it's muck floating in it. It's just, it goes all like gammy tasting and smelling.
It gets a skin on it.
Cheers.
Remember when we did the taste test with the tap water?
Yeah.
You listen, Gavin knows, yeah.
And you could just smell that it's turned.
I feel like I'm the complete opposite of you because I'll get a glass of water and like put it at my bedside table. If I hadn't finished it, I'll still have it the next night and maybe the next night.
Oh, come on now.
I'm with you.
It's just water.
I'm
Disgusting.
The only thing I won't do is I won't drink out of a styrofoam cup that's been like overnight,
Yeah.
and I won't drink out of a plastic cup that's been in a hot car. It's a
Oh,
really
yeah.
specific set of things.
Yeah.
Like if I have, there's a drink from yesterday and it was in a plastic cup, like from Jamba Juice or something like that. Just a clear plastic cup, but it's been in my hot car like 150 degrees. I'm like, I'm not drinking out of that.
Yeah.
To me, I've just always been taught don't drink water that's been sat still for a long
Who
time.
taught you that?
You're like a wild animal.
You're like
a
my cat.
Yeah.
Mush does that. Mush, you got to turn on the faucet and sit there and watch him like drink out of a little drip. You do because
Yeah.
he's spoiled and he just won't drink out of his bowl, or he likes it, or he gets up on the counter and he meows and walks back and forth.
I did this thing the other day. I didn't even think about it because usually I'll get a coffee and I'll sip on it like all day, and I'll drink coffee the next day. If it's still there, I'll just heat it back up
Yeah, me too.
because I don't put anything in my coffee.
There's
So
milk in it though.
No,
There's no milk in it.
yeah.
I was thinking about my coffee as you're explaining.
It's just bean juice.
It's just that. But then the other day I got
like
a
tea.
latte, like a chai tea latte, and had it in the morning. And then like I got home from somewhere else that I was out during the day, and I got home and I like continued to sip on it.
Oh god.
And Trevor was like, "Are you drinking your latte from earlier?" And I was like, "Yeah." He goes, doesn't that have milk in it? It's been out for like 6 hours."
that's fine though.
And I was like, "I feel okay."
you were fine?
I've heard that every
Yeah.
hour that milk is out of the refrigerator takes a day off of the expiration date. That's I
That's
don't.
too convenient to be true.
I'm sure it's not an exact measurement, but neither are expiration dates.
yeah.
It's
just
like
a
this
guess.
is the date when bacteria are going to figure out they're going to eat.
They're
this
gonna
thing.
overpower it.
Right, exactly.
They're like, "All right, get the clock going."
That's the rule of thumb.
Have you ever turned off a fridge?
Yes, I'm sure. Probably, I've unplugged a fridge to move it and like connect the little water thing to the ice maker.
I had an empty fridge for a long time, and I was leaving it on because I was like, it'd probably go gammy if I turn it off. But then eventually I was like, I'm just wasting money powering this fridge. Unplugged it. Like a week later, it was like black inside.
Yeah,
Yeah.
There was no food in it. It was just like
Yeah.
the old splashes of like, something like a tomato leaked there. And
Oh, so it was like a fungus?
it was just mold.
Yeah.
But it's like all of that stuff is sat in there, ready to go, just being held back
Yeah.
by the cold. And then the moment you turn it off, it's like, oh yeah.
Unplugged refrigerator is disgusting.
Yeah, I'm thinking about just throwing it away.
I mean, you can clean it.
I'm about to tell a really
I
gross
just
story.
don't know
I'm
if I
grossing
could
myself out. Over
I
here.
don't know if I could do it without
I can't.
choking all it.
I could always tell when Bernie's
Film
grossed
it.
out because he'll hold his neck right here and he'll go,
I was just thinking about a story. You're talking about a fridge getting turned off. Anyone here a George Romero fan? Anybody in broadcast?
Probably
Eric, you
most
strike me as a
people.
George Romero fan. So the movie Day of the Dead, I think it was Day of the Dead.
Is that the one where the head gets pulled off?
Yes, and the guy gets pulled all apart, like in one of the scenes. I'm gonna tell a gross story here. Just heads up to all
"Does
of our
it
listeners.
involve a Jolly Rancher?"
No, it does not. But I want to give people warnings in advance of this. So I think Tom Savini, did he do the makeup and visual effects for Day of the Dead? I know he did it for Dawn, but anyway, they figured out that if they got the anatomy internally of a pig is similar to a human, which is why they have kids dissect pigs, or medical students dissect pigs first before they go and work on humans. So they got the guts from a pig, and they found a butcher that would sell them pig guts. And they got that, and they had it for the scene where the guy gets pulled apart, and that's what they were going to use. It would be awesome and really cool. And then I forget what it was. It was either a holiday or they like lost funding for like a week or so, and they shut down and they just like left the soundstage and turned it off. And they turned off the refrigerator that had all the pig guts in it. And they came back to it and they had just basically rotted. And they decided to use them anyway because they couldn't afford them. It was so hard to find them to begin with. And the scenes were like, well, the zombies like rah, 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 pretending like they're eating these things. And then they would call cut. The zombies would be like, it was horrific.
How are they not all just throwing up all over each other?
I don't know.
The actors.
Yeah, somebody might have thrown up. Yeah.
I still, every time you mention throw up, I still picture that video of those two guys eating that.
Oh God.
Where it's just foam, like it's foaming out of
They're
them.
so great.
Oh, God.
The surstrumming or whatever
Yeah.
it's called. Oh.
Yeah.
All right, we're done.
All right.
That's it. No more.
Well, here, let me read this.
No more.
Perfect timing.
One reminder, this episode of the Receipt Podcast is brought to you by Smile Direct Club. Do you spend more time telling jokes than laughing at them to avoid showing your smile? Well, Smile Direct Club makes it easier than ever to straighten your smile. Brackets, wires, and monthly office visits are a thing of the past. None of that funny business here. Visit SmileDirectClub.com. Book a free visit and a 3D image at one of their smile shops or have an impression kit mailed to you. They'll email you a preview of your new smile. Once you get your aligners, one of the Smile Direct Club duly licensed dentists or orthodontists will check on your progress every 90 days. I use my smile all the time, especially at events like RTX. I love you can get a great smile and not have to take time out to visit the orthodontist. Get started without leaving the comfort of your home. Find out if you're a candidate by taking the free 30-second smile assessment on their website. As one of our listeners, you'll get a free at-home impression kit with rebate and $100 off your aligners. Just go to SmileDirectClub.com/podcast. Don't wait any longer to get the smile you deserve. Use this exclusive offer to get $100 off at SmileDirectClub.com/podcast with code Rooster. SmileDirectClub.com/podcast. Offer code Rooster. Thank you, Smile Direct Club, for sponsoring this episode of the Rooster Teeth Podcast. I've got something I want you guys to try. It's we had a discussion about this a few weeks ago. I don't know if you were here, Barbara. You might have been out of town, but we had a discussion about the proper way to open a box of cereal.
Oh, no, I was not here for this.
So we have some boxes of cereal here,
Okay.
so we can all demonstrate
I saw
The
these.
box, not the bag, or both?
We want to go one by one?
whatever that means to you.
Because there's the box and then there's the bag
Guys,
inside, which
it's-
some people fuck up.
Do you need scissors or a knife or anything like that?
Are these the cheapest cereals we could find at the store?
Do you need? Oh, thank you. Marshmallow Gems. That's a knockoff.
Get
This one-
Barbara another one.
Yeah,
This
give me
one's
another
open.
one. The top of that one
So
is kind of fucked.
Do you need a knife? Anybody knife?
No.
Scissors? Anything like that?
No.
I need a blowtorch.
Can opener?
Are we
Anything?
doing it one by one or all at the same
We
time?
should all do it at the same time and compare work.
Okay, we're just
Okay.
gonna do this.
Don't peek.
We're opening cereal. I just want to
Is it just the box part?
No, just open it. So you're gonna pour yourself a bowl of cereal.
And then we're gonna leave it open, or we're gonna reseal it like we already poured it. We poured our cereal,
I
right?
figure we need to show the audience, no?
Yes. Look at this. So Gavin's looks exactly like mine. It's open like 4/5 of the way to the other side.
Yep.
Everyone's doing the same thing.
Mine is just a little, mine's about 2 inches at the top.
The
Because then
tiny-
you get just a little
Nah,
pour
see,
spout.
on a,
See,
if
I'm
you're
like-
hungry
And
there.
then you
you.
could also,
Yeah, that's a gaper. What you need, that's going to clog. If you go too fast, that's all going to go.
how big are the cereal pieces you're
Look, turn
pouring?
it upside down. I bet it'll clog.
How do you jam your hand into that, Barbara? And
Look
then
at that,
stuff it in your
perfect.
Look at
face?
this, right? If I was really hungry,
Why are you pouring
That's
your
why-
cereal like that? You're a fucking monster.
And then when you're done, you just
Yeah, you
wait,
stuff it back.
wait, done. Everyone, now you're done eating.
I will say this: after, Gus, you have a tear in your lid. That's a nightmare.
That wasn't me. That was already there.
After a couple uses, I open mine all the way up because then I'm just gonna eat with my hands.
But here-
I
here's
didn't-
you've lost me on that
Here's
one.
a good thing about the little corner tear. You could just pinch and then it's completely
You
sealed.
could do
No,
that
just
when
roll
it's
it up.
all open. You
No,
fold
if
it
it's
up.
all open, you gotta like fucking smush
not
it.
like a fucking animal.
Nah, just roll it.
Why are you closing the cardboard?
What?
What?
Why wouldn't you close the cardboard?
What does that do?
Because if the bag gets open, it's an extra layer of freshness.
Wait. You're telling me that if the bag gets open, the cardboard at the top is what is going to prevent
It's going to
sealness.
reduce it.
Yeah, there's less air getting
That's
in.
no.
Let me take
absolutely
let me
No.
take your logic one step further, Eric. Why don't you just pull the bag out of the cardboard and throw the cardboard away? Why don't you do that?
not. Because it's easy to stack several cereals next to each other.
And if you want to stack them on top of each other, closing the lid helps, doesn't it?
What?
Would
No,
you
stack
rather
the
live
cereal
in
on top of each
in
other?
a
Who's stacking?
Cereal.
Who's
Yeah,
stacking
well,
them
that's
together?
right.
But I wouldn't be like, oh, time to put the cereal up.
If you have like 6 cereals, I don't know how
Who
much.
has 6 cereals?
Who has multiple cereals?
No, I don't have like 5 or 6 on the go.
There you go.
I don't want the same
I got
cereal
kids
every
in
day.
my family.
Eric, would you rather live in a house with a roof or without one?
This cereal is called marshmallow gems.
These things are so bad. Keep one of these marshmallows in your mouth, and it turns into an actual marshmallow. This is something I
Wait,
just
what is it
recently learned.
now? Oh, it's rock solid.
Well, listen to this noise it makes. That's not a marshmallow noise.
That's like
squeaky.
that's like Lucky Charms.
I have like ASMR. No, Lucky Charms is
This is the opposite
a
of
trademark of the General Mills Corporation. Marshmallow Gems is Hill Country Fair.
So, I have talked about. By the way, is Hill Country Fair? Is that like a huge company? Because
It's HEB.
is it really?
Hill Country Fair is the HEB brand.
Okay, well that's why I assume they're big because I've been living in HEB territory this entire time, so that's their brand. Mm-hmm. Okay. Well, like what's let me I think what's a Ralph's brand? Do they have a separate brand or is it just Ralph's?
Does Ralph's have a store brand, Eric? You're the
I
one
think
who
it's
answered.
I think it's just Ralph's.
But HEB does have HEB brand
They
stuff.
do.
But then they've also got Hill Country Fair.
Then how do you know that?
Because they didn't used to have the HEB brand stuff. They used to just have Hill Country Fair. And if you look at it here, it says, I mean, it's distributed by HEB.
That seems weird. Like, it seems kind of shitty. If you're a grocery store, you sell foods. You can't just pick the ones that do well and then make them as well. That seems kind of shitty to me.
Why don't they sell it in glass?
Go ahead.
Glass, reusable.
Oh, I don't know.
Bring your own glass in. Get your cereal from a dispenser like coffee.
You gotta bring your bowl in.
No,
Everybody
not the
shows
bowl,
up.
like a jar.
yeah, no,
like a
I get it.
mason jar kind of thing.
If you could dispense that into a glass jar and buy it that way, that would save well loads of packaging.
So I used to hate bottled water, and I specifically hated canned water. I now have come around on canned water because canned water is actually less wasteful because it's hard to recycle plastic, a little less hard to recycle cardboard.
Why'd you
But
hate it?
aluminum is like incredibly recyclable.
Yeah, aluminum, I think, yeah, super easy. It's
Why
like
didn't you-
constantly recycled, right?
Like, I read a weird stat one time. This is years ago that 95% of all aluminum in circulation is from recycled sources.
Yeah, I was thinking 93, so it's got to be somewhere
it's
around
in the
there.
90s,
Yeah.
whatever. It's ridiculously high.
But you didn't originally like it out of a can?
No, I just thought, why who would drink water out of a can? But now I like it. And I've come around to canned beverages because I was leaning towards glass, like you were, Gav.
What about a carton? Like cardboard?
There's that box water, which has a weird taste to it.
Gavin, I just explained why I prefer canned water. I literally do you think, based on what I just said, do you think that I would like cardboard water more than canned water? Or do you think I'd like canned water better?
He's
Is
very
it
disappointed.
less recyclable?
Yes, the cardboard is less recyclable.
He literally just said that. I
He
mean,
was,
we're
he
just
was formulating his point. I'm sure. I've done that 20,000 times. But something I learned recently is that aluminum cans, like Coke cans and stuff that we drink out of, aren't just cans. They're cans and a plastic liner in them. And somebody did an experiment that I saw. I might have seen this on Facebook, where you could take a aluminum can, you put it in I think drain cleaner and leave it there, and it just dissolves all the aluminum, or the aluminum all reacts, and then it just leaves this plastic bag, which is the interior lining of a can.
Is that something that's like sprayed in the inside?
I guess so. I don't like that.
I want
as
to
much.
see how it's made of that.
Don't you think we all should know what that is? Because that's what we're actually drinking out of,
Right.
right?
Yeah.
And it's like I wasn't aware there was a
Does the
lining.
state of California have a
inside
a warning on that?
Yeah,
it
but
might be an anti.
Not like between.
Eric, can you pull up this thing like dissolving can?
Maybe you just
plastic
don't
liner,
want
blah, blah, blah.
a Coke reacting with bare metal.
I think the reason I was reading about it, the reason why they have the plastic liner is to preserve the taste of the beverage. But then, really, you're drinking out of this plastic bag, is what or this plastic lining. That's what you're actually drinking out of.
It's like milk in Canada.
It's like milk in Canada, Gus. That's exactly what it's like.
I'm all for changing up all packaging to make it environmentally friendly and all that stuff. But I hate straws. I hate metal straws and I hate cardboard straws.
Oh, I love cardboard straws.
Cardboard straws are
They fall
great.
apart.
Oh,
but
they
if
get
you have like a sippy bev, like something you don't want to chug, like a whiskey or something, by the time you're done with it, the straw's like mushing and falling apart and you don't get anything.
Yeah, it's like wet cardboard you're drinking.
Yeah.
And a metal straw, I don't know if you've ever bashed one into your teeth, bloody hurts. That woman died from one.
How?
She fell on it and it went in her eye.
I believe
Well,
that.
Yeah,
That's
it's
not
really dangerous.
Well, they're not really dangerous. One
Well,
person died.
Yeah, but you can hurt yourself on it. You can't hurt yourself on a plastic straw.
Well, you're
Tell
not
that to the
trying
sea
hard
turtles. I mean, why are we banning them? Then?
Well, I mean, like a human can't like jam it in their head.
Yeah, I don't know. How do the sea turtles get them in their nose? How do they do that?
A lot of cocaine. It's really sad.
I mean, sea turtles move pretty fucking slow, right? How do they get the straw in their nose? How does that happen? Like, I get the plastic rings. They get around the fish or the seal.
The twats.
Yeah, they get the ring around it, and then they grow, and then they get stuck. That I get. I don't get the straw. I don't know what the big deal
Maybe
is.
they're just like breathing too hard.
Peter H sent me how it's made for aluminum cans.
There we go.
I'm trying to see if they have
I think they like make them.
plastic
They like
lining.
neck them over multiple molds.
How who do we send in broadcast videos we want to play? I just okay.
What do you got?
You reminded me of this. Did you see? There's this little girl.
I gotta ask Chrome. Sorry to interrupt you, Barb. What
good.
kind of Philistine drinks whiskey through a straw? I was wondering that
I was
question,
wondering
too.
that too.
What are you drinking with a straw? What are you doing with your
Was
life?
it whiskey Coke?
If you just order a Jack and Coke, it comes with a straw.
Who does that?
But then who drinks
I don't know,
using
the bar.
straw?
I blame the bar that gave it to me.
Yeah, but they don't use the straw.
Right. It's to stir it. Are you using the little one where you're like
No,
the
no, it was
little,
the-
the little tiny one?
The little black plastic.
No, but if there's like 3 or 4 of those, I will suck it up. There.
You're ridiculous. There's a theory that you get drunker drinking through a straw. Have you ever heard that before?
How does that work?
I don't know. It's like a wives' tale. I remember.
Okay.
I remember new kids that would drink beer with
Is
a
it because
straw.
you're drinking it slower?
I don't know.
Yeah,
or
honestly,
faster.
if someone gives me, I've just realized if someone gives me a cup or a drink with a straw in it, I'll probably use it. But if they don't, I'm not like, where's the straw?
Right.
It's weird.
That's the milkshake. That's gotta have straw. Anyway, sorry.
Did you send something
Yeah,
to them?
you reminded me of this with the plastic aluminum can thing.
I
But
know this video. I love
this
this girl.
girl, have you guys seen this one?
No.
She has this
amazing.
amazing magic trick, and she's so young. I don't know how she does it. So watch this,
Like, how do you learn illusion at that age?
right?
Girl, little thing where she stuffs the handkerchief into her hand, and then there's this like big flourish of like it's gonna be gone, but then just puts her middle finger up.
Yeah.
But she's like 3.
If that, yeah.
Yeah.
It's a very rude child.
She's
Is
learning
she?
fast. I feel like if I ever had a kid, that would be her.
She gets a little laugh, man. You gonna have kids?
Nah,
Really?
I don't think so.
God, we keep talking about this.
Yeah, it's like I feel like the age I would want kids would be like over 40.
Yeah, man.
And at that point, it's not very safe to have a kid. I know you are able to. It's just not as safe.
Safer than it used to be.
But I don't know. Like,
Get one of them handmaids. Get the.
Those are popular.
I keep reading about them.
I don't know. Like, I also like. I think I would sooner consider foster kids
Sure.
than having my own kid. But I don't know.
Foster or adopting? I think those are 2 different things.
I think foster
Okay.
for me. Yeah, there's a lot of kids in foster care
There are. Yeah.
that are, especially like older kids that don't ever get a chance really. So that kind of thing I care more about, I think, than having my own flesh and blood.
Hell yeah. That'd be great.
So I don't know.
How much of it is that you don't want to annihilate your vagina?
A big part of it. Yeah, I also think that just, I mean, there's an overpopulation and stuff just because people feel the need to have their own genetics and stuff.
I think that's something that's very specific to our era of history
Yeah.
that's going to go down and down and down. Like we
What do you
have
mean?
just now
Oh.
reached a point where stat just released where there's more people over the age of 65 than under the age of 5.
Yeah.
And it's going to double in the next 20 years.
Wow.
Double the amount of people that are over 65. And it's not just people getting older, but longevity as well. I mean, it is kind of an interesting line to draw at 65. You can't really, you can tell people, we all know we're born at a certain age. We all don't know what age we're definitely going to die, right? So they got to kind of pick one. So they pick 65, and yeah, there's going to be double the amount of people over 65.
I mean, there's already some countries, we've talked about this before, there's already some countries entering crisis over that, like Japan has way too many old people for the amount of young people that they have.
Yeah.
It's like that's a country that conceivably could not have Japanese people in a couple hundred years.
Oh my God.
It's interesting. Yeah. And it's like America is, I think the last time we talked about this, and it's probably not true anymore, the only group, demographic group in the U.S. that was having kids at a rate equal to sustainability was Hispanics.
Woo! We did it.
Everyone else was having birth rates were below, which I think it's 2.2 children
Yeah.
per family or per person. And every other ethnicity demographic was below that. And
Why 2.2?
I don't know.
It might be like,
accidental deaths?
Yeah.
Cover accidental deaths? Stuff like that?
I had a lot of people in the chat
Yeah,
also
kind
say
of
that
a
like
little bit.
giving birth after 40 is not nearly as dangerous. It only like drops a few percentages, I guess, of
yeah, eat food out of his hand.
I'm not starting to eat it.
So-
Marshmallows are supposed to represent something. Barbara, tell me, what does that marshmallow gem represent to you? And I'll see if we can get you to guess it.
a kite.
The moon.
I thought it was a mountain.
It's the moon.
It's a moon. It's a triangle with a white.
One of these is just a rectangle.
Yeah. I don't
Another
know.
one's a like they're
But what's the...
Well, they're gems, triangle gems, and
This is clearly a star. What's this?
This is a shooting star.
Oh, I thought that was an ice cream cone.
Oh,
What color is that?
No, that would make more sense because it's yellow with a blue
That's
tip.
not even on the box.
No, they're not on the box. I was hoping there's going to be like a key on here, and there's not.
The
Is there
legend's
not?
missing.
No.
We have moments all the time.
God damn you, Hill Country Fair.
We so speaking of Japan, I've gotten this sent to me a few times. Have you seen that hotel at Haneda Airport that has a 737 simulator in the room?
Who hasn't seen that? No, I haven't seen that. I haven't seen this. No.
It's a hotel that's attached to the Haneda Airport, and it has a built-in 737 flight simulator, and you can stay the night in that room, and you can hire an instructor to teach you how to fly it while you're there.
Are you going
That
to go?
seems like a really bad
Yes.
idea.
There
This
it
is
is.
it? Holy
I
shit,
sent
dude.
it.
Oh,
I
shit,
sent
for
it to
real?
Esther, and I was like,
Why haven't you been there
next
yet?
time they just opened it. I was like, next time we're in Japan, can we stay here? She's like, fine.
That'd be
really-
awesome.
That's like a king size bed for Japan too.
I feel like that is your ideal everything. Like it's
and-
in Japan.
That's pretty cool.
Then you can look out the window since it's at the airport. Like you look out, and like that's where all the
Eric,
planes
can
are.
we
and
see that
everything.
again? Let me explain this to people. So this is like a small little Japanese hotel room, but then it's got this. It almost looks like a kid's wallpaper.
and that's actually outside?
no. It's just
No. Sorry.
The other window.
The other window's outside.
Yeah.
I was just like,
What
what
other
is it
window?
showing? I mean, like when
You
it's
can't
not
see them here.
on.
There's
I didn't know
other
if it was
windows in the
actual
room.
windows.
It'd be funny. I bet with your back to that, it just looks like a normal room.
Yeah. I'm sure it does.
And so that flies the hotel.
Yes, it does.
But it's like a 747 cockpit in the side of the room. That'd be who would sleep in that room? You'd just be up all night with the 747 stuff.
Yeah, it's like the best video game possible.
Like that lady who was locked on the Air Canada flight. She's busy getting off the plane. It's like, stay on the fucking plane, have fun.
Esther's like trying to sleep.
Can you hear about this? Heard it on the podcast? We
No.
talked about
I
it.
need you to bring your bed into the full upright and lock position.
Was that something you talked about last
Yeah,
week we did?
I think
that
maybe
or something?
I think maybe John was on it.
Okay.
And lady they parked at the gate like 1 a.m. or something, let everybody off, or maybe they got the stairwell. We're not really sure what the details are, but then they just closed down the plane. She was sleeping because the plane was already late, and then just got off the plane. She woke up at 2 in the morning or 3 in the morning, was on a plane by herself out in the middle of the tarmac.
It was dark.
Yeah.
They don't do like a check?
She broke into the cockpit and got a flashlight and flagged down a baggage because she even got the door open, but she's 30 feet above the ground.
Right.
So she flagged down a baggage handler who got her out of there.
My God.
Pretty cool, right?
Yeah, I feel like I would want to just spend the whole night there.
Fuck yeah, I would.
Yeah.
Don't you call those little bottles of booze? I'd have a
See
great
like
time.
all the secrets that
Yeah.
lie within
Free
this world.
minibar.
Yeah, it'd be great.
But how do they not? I mean, do the flight attendants not do like a?
I think the
Walk up
point
and
was they
down?
just missed it. They just missed it.
Yeah, they missed
Yeah,
her.
I guess so.
We have a lot. Well, I find that I have a lot of moments. Like if I ever watch back one of these podcasts, there'll be a few moments that I just missed in the moment. Like just then when I didn't listen to you say that
That happens all the
cardboard
time.
was. Last week on the live one at RTX, I heard you say on the podcast, I butchered those rules because you were like describing Gavin or Google, and in my head I was just mentally trying to remember all the things. So I didn't hear you botch the rules. I went back and listened to it. It was hilarious.
It was hilariously bad.
Like you were nailing it up to a certain point,
And it just fell apart.
And then you're like, and then give it to Gavin, and then I add it into the quiz, and saying all this
It was
stuff
like
where
the
it's
text to speech. I got one word wrong, and my brain was going blah, 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 blah.
But it's weird. I can see you lose it.
Yeah, I
and
lost
then
it. I
give
lost
up,
it.
And then you called it. You were like, I botched
it's like
it.
spitting on yourself. You have to call it
I
out.
lost. But I
I
lost
honestly,
it.
I listened to it back like 5 times because I was laughing so much.
It's the speech equivalent of like when you go to drop something and then you like keep catching it like 50 times, and then you end up hitting it across the room.
Yeah.
To the point where Phil was like, I don't know what the rules are.
And then you just like broke it down. It's like, oh yeah, that makes total sense.
I felt so bad for Phil in that moment too. Of you trying to explain that, like he has no idea what you're talking
Did
about.
Phil know we were going to play a game? Did we tell him?
I told him, the thing that we were going to play a little game, but it's really rules are easy and make perfect sense when we talk about it. I almost heard that. But I've been playing a new game at home. We've been talking about like George Romero and all that stuff. I like zombie games. I've always liked zombie games. I play Sea of Thieves and I talk about Sea of Thieves, but my go-to is always zombie games and open world games. So
There's zombies in Sea of Thieves.
I've been playing. Yeah, there's skeletons. Yeah, there are.
They're undead.
Yeah, and even like sometimes when it's still got some glitchy issues in Sea of Thieves. So sometimes when a player respawns, they respawn as a skeleton, which is pretty fucking.
That
cool.
sounds pretty cool.
It's
Played that
actually pretty
today.
cool.
It was fun.
It's fun, right? It seems like the powder keg. Gus, I promise we won't talk about Sea of Thieves very long. The powder
We'll talk
keg,
about Victoria right after, I promise.
the gunpowder keg in Sea of Thieves seems like it's tailor made for you because you can fuck over your friends so easily with
Funny
that
you
thing.
say that. I found one on our boat, and then I
Found one on our boat.
I think Jeremy put it there. So I climbed to the top of the mast. I was trying to put it down. I was just trying to so I could. Can you shoot them?
You can absolutely shoot
I was trying to put it down so I could climb back down and shoot it, but I accidentally just lit the fuse. And I was like, Matt, how do you unlight the fuse? And I blew up all the sails.
Yeah, the masts now can break and they fall down, which
Yeah.
is great noise. They go and they
And
fall down.
I didn't see any of the destruction because I just died because I was holding it. And then when I came back, everything was like,
I'm going to give you a tip for the next time you play Sea of Thieves if you want to troll
Okay.
everybody else. It'll take some time for you to set it up, maybe like 20, 30 minutes. But if you beat a fort, there's a gunpowder keg that's like 3 times as strong as a normal gunpowder keg. Like it'll take out an entire ship instantaneously, no matter where you put it on the ship. Like it puts a hole in every possible place, just about. It's called a stronghold keg.
how
It's
do
amazing.
you know that your ship is sinking?
It goes, it creaks. Like I'll be steering my ship, and all of a sudden I hear my ship go, like you'll know the sound when you hear it. It's like a ship of like groaning, and it's like, what the fuck? And I go downstairs, and it's like, but the thing's half filled with water, like waist deep in water, bailing this shit out all of a sudden.
I
And I had a hole that I didn't know I had.
I got all the way to the point where it kicks you off the wheel because it was sunk so much before I realized that it
Well,
was.
it has a chime it makes when it sinks. There's always little cues that, like when you kill somebody, even from like half a mile away, if you hit them with a lucky sniper shot or a cannon shot, you can hear a sound that says you killed the person, and you'll know.
That's cool.
When your ship sinks, it goes bong, like almost like a gong noise. It makes that. So
Yeah.
it makes a noise when somebody gets on the ladder. You hear a little splash of them coming out of the water. So you can hear, you can get attuned to that stuff.
So
Gus
sound is
dying
very
over there.
important.
I didn't even want to talk about Sea of Thieves. I want to talk
Anyway,
about
Sea of Thieves.
I want to talk about Days Gone, which I have been playing on PS4. It's great. My PS4 is really fucking temperamental, though. I have it set up so my remote turns it off. Like I just hit a button and boop, and everything turns off. And my PS4, every time I turn it on, goes, that was not the right way to shut me down. It's like, that was, I have to rebuild everything now.
It's not what you said. It's the way
Yeah.
you said it.
Yeah, exactly. It's like the remote just goes, hey, PS4, shut down. It goes, okay, fine.
How
And
dare
then it goes, I don't like the way I got shut down. It's just like, but you did it. The remote
isn't
just
that
said
when-
shut down, and you did it yourself.
When I use my remote, I can see that it's, and I tell it to turn off. I can see it's running through a macro. Like it's not
It's
killing
Bluetooth.
power. I can see it like pops up the bar, then it goes da, 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 like over to the appropriate power menu, hits it, then pauses, then da, da, like down just the right amount to
Oh,
enter
so it's
rest
like
mode.
someone controlling it.
Right, so it's like it has a macro saved. It's not just sending it one signal. It's sending it like
Is that like a Harmony doing
right, all the exact key presses.
That's
needed
mine
to
is
get it
Harmony
over
that
there.
does it as well.
that? But yours really pisses off your PS4.
Fucking pisses it
My
off.
Harmony is in perfect harmony with my PS4.
But it does a dit, you
Yeah.
just said.
Yeah,
So yours doesn't it just like
Shuts
your
it off.
Harmony reaches out and pulls the plug
It's like
out.
it pulls the plug, but it's like that's not possible.
I
'cause
don't think you can piss it off with software.
right. It's unless it acts like I pulled the plug, like mid save or something like that. It like goes freaks out.
Just
What's
an
it
angry
plugged
face
into?
appears on.
It's plugged into its own outlet on the strip, whatever it is, this power strip, surge protector. It's plugged into that.
And is that TV in the wall?
Stop it. The PS4 is in the wall below the TV.
Oh, well, there's your problem.
Below the TV, but in the wall, not outside the wall. So I actually have to run a little cord out through the bottom of the TV because somehow the Xbox controller makes it through the wall, but the PS4 doesn't.
Wait. You're not being serious that you still have.
I have a hole. The new TV just covers the hole.
But I thought you got around this whole thing because the thing blocking the signal was the old TV.
Yeah, I don't know why. Listen,
Come on, you're not still like running cable through the wall.
it's a little TV like that, like thin wise. It's like that. It's a modern thin TV. The PS4 can't reach through that.
what are you talking about?
I don't know why. The PS4 controller disconnects all the time.
I will say this: if I put my Switch behind my television, I use the Joy-Cons.
Yeah.
They constantly lose sync.
Yeah.
It's like mine's not even in a wall or anything. So if I want to use my Switch and Joy-Cons, I have to pull it to the front.
Yeah.
Why not just put a lovely little shelf in front of the TV?
Yeah, it's not clean enough.
What do you mean? Look,
What do you
at the
mean?
shelf.
Yeah,
'Cause
because
it's
it's all this. Oh, then I'm gonna have a bunch of consoles sitting in my living room.
that's being like, I'm not going to do dishes. It's not clean enough. I'll just put the plates on the floor.
What?
No, that's what you're saying. You're saying put the
Yeah.
plates on the floor so you'll know where they are.
But
is
you're
true.
saying you don't want to own a dishwasher because it takes up space on the floor.
No, you're saying that I should not have cabinets because it's too hard.
Semantics.
Yeah, exactly.
Just get a lovely, tiny little
Lovely.
thing.
Lovely.
Just put your consoles in that so you're right there. You have to trail cables everywhere.
I have that right now, actually, for the Switch. It sits on it by itself.
Its own little
You can put other things on
lovely
it.
thing.
Because you got to put the dock. 'Cause you got to have it available. So
You can put a
it
PlayStation on that.
I could. I'm not gonna. Switch is tiny, so I'm just not gonna. I got my system. It works. But I don't know why the Harmony is like. Bleh.
It literally doesn't work.
Why the Harmony shuts it off and complains at me. But Days Gone has been a lot of fun. I will say this: I could play games the rest of my life. I never want to play another video game where they have these fucking walk and talk cutscenes. Red Dead was full of them.
Yeah.
All Rockstar games have them. This game is fucking lousy with them. I was just starting to play it when Michael finished it, and he tweeted about it saying what a great game it was. And it got so fucking panned when it came out. I have no idea
it
why.
kind of fell under the radar or something.
I have no idea why.
Is that the bike one?
Yeah.
Yeah, but it's like zombies. We made fun of it because they called zombies freakers. They're not allowed to call them zombies because for some reason they want to make a zombie game but not call them fucking zombies. I don't understand that logic, but okay, we're gonna run with it. It does something in a zombie game that I've never seen anything else do until just recently. World War Z, the video game, which is very under the radar game, did it pretty well. But I gotta say, Days Gone is amazing. You can run into these massive hordes of zombies, and it's literally like 300 zombies that are just like
That was the most impressive thing in their E3 demo.
running over the top of each other and
Yeah,
like
World War Z was like that. The game.
yeah, World War Z is but that just came out about the same time as Days Gone. Like, and I think that one that was like a $40 game, right?
Yeah, it was.
Yeah.
It was not a full price.
It was kind of like it's the big massive hordes you get in World War Z. You get that in an open world in Days Gone. I feel like World War Z. I feel like they're kind of like scripted events. Like you're defending an area.
Yeah,
And it's
like a horde mode.
kind of like a horde mode.
Yeah.
This is totally different. Like you'll round a corner and there's a fucking mass of zombies right there.
Shit. I
And
think
then
you
you're
just
like,
sold me on this game, by the way.
yeah, and then you're like,
just that.
oh, you're like, they didn't see me. And one of them goes, oh, and you're like, shit. And then they just fucking horde right at. I had a moment the other day where I was like, there was a cave. And I was like, I wonder if there's anything in that cave. Like, I walked up to it, was the middle of the day. They hibernate during the day. And so I was like, I think there might be something there. So I took a pipe bomb and threw it in there. And it goes, boom. And I heard a zombie go, and I was like, oh, shit. And then another one goes, and then there was this literally like rumbling in the cave. And they come out of the darkness. Like the way it handles light is amazing too. Even coming out of a cave, you're blinded for a second because you're coming out in the sunlight. But as they like spilled out in light, it was just this massive rolling horde of zombies. It's really cool. And it's not like, I don't know how to explain it. It's like you're sitting further in the game, you get really incredible weapons, but you're still like, it's still a fucking nightmare facing down one of these things. It's really incredible. I'm having a blast with it.
Maybe I'll play it. Maybe
It is slow, though. I gotta warn you, it is slow, and I think that's what that put a lot of people off. And it's so fucking story heavy. It's really story heavy. Just skip all that stuff, honestly. Because zombie stuff is enough fun.
I'm almost done replaying Metal Gear Solid 5, so maybe when I'm done with that,
It's like a mix of Last of Us and Far Cry. That's the best way I can describe that game.
Oh, I like both those games.
I liked it. Days Gone. Just play it.
All right, it's about time to wrap this up.
All right, let's wrap this up then.
All right, thanks everybody for watching. We'll see
See
you
us
guys
at San Diego Comic Con this weekend.
at San Diego Comic Con, and then here next week. Bye.
Pieces.
Hey everyone, thanks for watching the Rooster Teeth podcast. I'm sure you liked this video, so why not hit the like button and click the bell? That way you get notified anytime we have a new podcast, and you can have great content like Gavin cleaning up cereal.
I'm not
that's
sure
covered
they
in beer.
liked it.
I
I'm
think
not
they did.
sure. You're very confident. I don't know.
Prove Bernie wrong
didn't
by
like this
clicking
one?
like.
Oh,
Or just
come
click it
on.
anyway. I don't really care.